Hello, welcome to the PUBG Mobile Club Open 2019 Fall Split. This is the European region, and I am Blank Cat, followed today and joined by John. Not followed, you don't follow me anywhere, to be honest with you.
No, I'm a leader.
You're a leader.
I'm a leader amongst
I don't
men.
follow you, but maybe when we go into game, though, and you're parachuting. Because I don't like to do the parachuting.
You follow me on Twitter, though, at John Allen Casts.
Whoa, I can't believe you just plugged your Twitter.
Or you can follow me on Instagram as well.
You follow me on Twitter as well, Blank Cast. I mean, this is a really weird way to start a show.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Follow the leader type of dealio.
Yeah, for sure.
If you have been watching some of the other regions today, you already know that there is some fantastic PUBG Mobile coming at you very, very shortly. And if you're in Europe, a very nice hello to you as well, because we're the boys in blue. We're from Britain, so this is our home region.
We're not the boys. I'm wearing blue. You're not wearing blue.
That's true. I'm the boy in several different shades of red and orange.
And black and yellow and green.
Yeah, quite a few different colours there.
There's quite a lot of colours there going on. But we are going to be seeing quite a lot of colours going on in the European region as well. Hopefully, all of these teams are going to be in with a great shot. The EU region did fall a little bit short of the mark when it came to the global stages. So hopefully this time around they're going to pick up their feet, start marching on towards those chicken dinners.
Indeed, and if you also want to get a chicken dinner, you need to play PUBG Mobile with a NEX phone, a NEX phone. They will give you the most immersive, the most powerful, and most outstanding performance you can find around. So you want to get that chicken dinner, definitely hit up one of those phones before we head into game.
Oh yeah. We're going to be seeing what all of these teams are going to be capable of course. It's a little bit of an unknown quantity, right? We're coming into a new season where it's a new dawn, it's a new day. Hopefully it's going to be a new life for a lot of these teams. We're going to be seeing plenty of PUBG Mobile. I'm really excited to see how they're going to start to stack up. A lot of teams in the previous season were all Russian. They were a lot were from the Russian region. I'm not too sure how many of those teams have transferred over. So hopefully we'll see maybe a little bit more of the mainland Europe presence coming through.
Well, we're going to hit up the internet later on, I'm sure. Find out who those teams actually are. You don't know the internet? No. That's the only place you can get PUBG Mobile.
Oh, where else can you get PUBG Mobile?
I mean, who have you been? You've been playing in one-man lobbies?
I guess so.
All right, well, here we have our competition system.
Certainly not a one-man lobby here.
No, at all. We have 24 matches, 32 teams. You have Group A, Group B, Group C, and Group D. They go into the semi-finals, which only top 24 will go through to, and then the top 16 will hit up the regional finals, where they will all duke it out and look for that champion.
Yeah, and the chance, of course, to go over to the global finals. Really, really lucrative prize coming in there, of course, over in Kuala Lumpur later this year.
Indeed. Now we have our new scoring system. 20 points for first place, going down to 14, 10, 8, and so on and so forth until we hit that 11th, 16th spot, where we'll be only awarded 1 point. Yeah,
it's quite a nice plateau to see there, so nicely done from them. But here come the groups.
So for here, Group A, we have Asterion Myth, FUTBOLIST, Deformia, and Ultra Team, Team Unique, Magic, M19, and Cream Esports. And for Group B, John?
Yeah, we got back-to-back. We got SİMURGA, Brothers Gang as well, NewCycle, MVP Esports, Chaos, Fantastic Esports, and Evil Esports. So two opposing forces maybe going to be clashing here in Fantastic and Evil Esports types. Although, to be fair, Evil Esports have spelt esports wrong. They put a capital S in there.
How dare
which, in fact, is really illegal.
Well, to be fair, it's a team name. So
no.
You're going to allow it. Are you just not allowing it full stop?
Disallowed. Change the name.
Are you ringing up the grammar police over here?
I'm going to call Red Eye.
Are you going to call Red Eye?
I'm going to call Red Eye.
Don't do that.
I'm going to put a t-shirt on.
He will be here in a shot.
He will be.
Yeah.
He'll be here like a...
He hears it. He's esports man. He hears it. He comes and goes, that's wrong.
That's wrong. That's wrong.
That's his superpower. But one team you might recognize from the global finals is Team Unique. Maybe we get to see a bit more of Old Boy and his fantastical skills. We saw that guy is an ultra fragger.
Absolutely. Really, really strong. One of the top fraggers in the world on the global stage. Really, really nice to see them coming through. So maybe they'll be able to rally around that. What I sort of was hinting towards during the global final stage was that they're essentially what I called the chocolate frog team. They had one great fight, and then they just didn't really have much left in the bag to push it on forward. So hopefully they've learnt their lesson. Hopefully they'll be able to take those messages on board that me flaming them should have been able to provide.
Well, they are coming down from the global finals, of course, which is the best teams from around the world now to play in Europe once again. So looking to have a dominant performance here in this group. So we'll see if they can show those colours today in the games coming ahead. We will have Erangel heading up first as we watch the plane fly across it. So, Erangel, John, what do you think are the main key points here after we've seen some PUBG already today?
It's very standard. It's a great place to start. A lot of these teams, well, everybody in who has ever played PUBG should be familiar with Erangel. It's a comfort pick. It's a comfort map for a lot of these teams. So what we're going to see is people vying for different spots on the map, right?
Yes.
We're going to see people figuring out who's going to get Pachinki, who's going to get Yasnaya, who's going to get South George, North George as well. All of these key spots, and maybe even a little bit of a kerfuffle around military to see who's going to be able to claim that level 3 loot. And it's really a case of how we're going to start to coalesce towards our tournament meta, which is what we're really looking at here for these 32 teams.
This initial day is actually really, really important for a lot of these teams because it gets your name on the board, and also definitely you can make your mark on the maps, like you say, that this is our position, this is our place. And today we won't be playing Vikendi on day 1. It will potentially crop up towards the rest of the week, right? But we will see Erangel once again in map 4 if you stick with us till then. So then we might actually get to see teams who have decided, you know what, this is our spot, we're going to go for it. We actually saw that in the South Asian region. Teams already picking their spots and choosing by map 4. So hopefully we see a bit of the same in the European region over here today.
Yeah, so we've got Erangel, and then we've got Sanhok, followed by Miramar, and then another Erangel to close out the day. No Vikendi today. We'll be seeing it in the future, but not today. Of course, I think Erangel last time around made up about 50% of the map pool for essentially the entirety of these stages. So I think it's going to be the same this time around.
Yeah, which is fair enough. I mean, it is the mainstay, right? It is the mainstay.
For sure. I mean, so that means that teams that are strong in Erangel, in general, they're going to start to place higher up. You know, you can be the best in the world at Sanhok or Vikendi, but you know, if you're not got your Erangel basics down, you're going to come a cropper. You're going to be scuppered. Yeah,
a little bit. Anyway. What we did notice from watching Erangel last time was that teams who tend to do very well in the first game seem to do very well once again in the last, so maybe we'll see a bit more of that. Sanhok, obviously we were looking a little bit of that, and it seems that people are getting a little bit wise to third-party plays now, and they're taking more of these god positions, like high up on hills with a lot of cover, and then sending that one player out. You got that 1 to 3 formation, where this guy is literally just your scout, make sure you know where they're coming from, and then those 3 men on the top, they can do the dirty work and get those gunfires in.
You want to channel your inner lonely goat herd and
exactly
up on those hills.
Yeah. Whilst you watch them, you say, bro, there's some wolves coming at your sheep up there. So get the M4s out, lads.
Sheep aren't goats though.
No, they're not. But the goats are the guys on top, and then you got your shepherd in the bottom, and the wolves are the third parties.
Okay. All right.
You feel that?
Yeah, I feel like it's goats v sheep, right? Is the fight, and then the wolves.
It is, yeah. At the end of the day.
Yeah, I like that metaphor. I don't think it's very apt, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. Yeah, it definitely might not be the most on point one.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're about fun here at PUBG Mobile.
Yeah, I think so actually. And winning.
And winning.
And winning.
Winning is great too.
But mainly fun.
And
if you want to have some fun, you can head over to the to Google Play and or the App Store as well, and you can download PUBG Mobile yourself and have a bit of fun.
And I'll have a good old blast at the game because it is very, very good. And like you said, John, you can head over to those outlets and pick it up today.
Oh, for sure. We are going to be heading into game, I believe. The first map, of course, Erangel, where it all started, where it all kicked off, and where we're going to kick off as well.
We are going to kick off big time. A lot of these teams hope they're going to kick off as well. Get those kill points in, see if we can have a massive kill game to start off the European region. But we are getting ready right now, lads. And ladies and gentlemen, we will be getting to game very, very shortly.
64 players, 16 teams are going to be mounting up. They're going to be in the plane, those parachutes strapped to their back. Where will they go? Only time will tell. And probably their IGLs too.
Yeah, the IGOs will be telling them where to go.
Yeah.
They'll be all set to follow, bum straight down. Unless you are doing that 2-2 split we have seen a lot of teams do now and again. PLM were doing it quite a bit in the global finals. Didn't always work out, but, you know, they gave it a good old crack.
I mean, you won't probably see it today, maybe not even tomorrow. Maybe you'll see it towards the semi-finals. Once people have figured each other out, once you've claimed a spot on the map and seeing what you can get done, that's where you're more likely to see that. But the playing path coming in now, northwest to southeast, that's essentially, if you watch the South Asian region earlier, that's essentially the exact same plane that we saw in the first map there as well.
Bit deja vu, really, all in all. But this gives opportunity for a lot of places on that to be taken. Obviously, you've got Georgia Pol and Yasnaya, very, very popular places to go. Pachinki also available. A little bit more of a hot drop down there, but some teams might want to drop out very, very late and go over to Sosnovka military base, depending on. But Milta's still available too.
Severny, no one's going that way. No one's really going north of the river at all, by the looks of it. Rosok seems to be a target for several teams. Maybe they'll try and duke it out. Around Sunken City as well. Zaki or North George. I think that's probably more likely to be North George coming through. Is the drop there.
For sure, for
A
sure.
lot of southern drops, though.
Yeah.
Very southern drops.
Yeah, Europe's hungry for that military loot, but look at this on our other side. Kitsune already laying on the hurt on players who haven't even really joined the game yet. They're still in the parachutes, but he's already down, got himself an M4, and while he takes shots, the gun is very, very accurate. Already another player going down, been knocked outside the house, very low. Most likely will fall as well.
Yeah, really early fights coming in. This is something you don't really see too often, but Europe, they are bloodthirsty.
That's it. Done.
They're putting it. Lunatic.
Can you believe it? The first kill of the European region, basically instantly.
Yeah.
Hopefully that becomes a trend for the rest of the European region because I love some bloodthirsty teams.
Absolutely. What early fights do is reduce the number of players on the map, which means that you're probably more likely to see some more interesting late game circles. When there's more teams towards the late game, that in general will mean that you're going to see a little bit of chaos going in. And those rotations and those hard rushes for 3 or 4 teams running parallel to each other, those really generate chaos. So with less players on the team, with less players on the map, with less teams on board, you're less likely to see that. Maybe a little bit more tactical into those final circles. But more people do have to go down now. So far, we've only seen one go down. But Creamer taking a bit of hurt as well. Alpha going down.
Yeah, there is a couple of... Oh, God, runned him over. That is brutal. Absolutely savage. But MI9 and also a couple of other teams in this area. So Pachinki very much a hot drop, not taking any... not messing around at all as the European region. They all want Pachinki. They want to lay claim to it immediately. 3 teams looking for it already. One team has felt the hurt from it, but they are going together in a unit. It looks like they want to get the refrags where possible because they know there are a couple of teams around here. Obviously, we've got Asterion on the left-hand side.
Yeah, 2 teams vying for Sosnovka military base at the moment. Only one over in Novo. 2 teams over towards Milta as well. One in Milta Power, one in the main settlement, a little bit close to Warehouse as well. But the circle, heavily northeast. That means a lot of teams are going to have to rotate around. No one taking control north of the river just yet. No one's really claimed that ground. Savernia, of course, completely dead. No one there. And the teams in Rosok yet to make the break up north.
Indeed, it's kind of a northeastern circle that we are seeing, John, which means that a lot of land is very much available here. There's very little of it in the water currently. So Yesnai, obviously Mansion, Shelter, all places that will be probably rotated through at some point as teams try to come up through military, through Milta. But currently Pachinki is where all the action is happening. MI9 have found a knock, but B2B, they're going to be very happy to pull up that player pretty pronto. And Asterion, all these teams living in the same zone quite easily. So it seems quite a lot more gentle than we thought it was going to be, to be honest with you, John.
A little bit more. I mean, only 2 players have gone down, but to the teams that have, they were the ones who did drop pretty hot. So, I mean, it kind of serves them right in that regard, I'd say.
Yeah, to be fair, only 2 players going down is a pretty successful result for dropping into Pachinki. I mean, I dropped into Pachinki with a squad, that's it, we're all dead within about 10 seconds. So, I mean, these players are doing pretty damn well to survive it all the way through. MI9 are doing the thing that you absolutely hate, John. They're all in one vehicle.
Yeah, they stacked it up. M19 really not having a great time there. Well, they shouldn't do anyway. Coming on forwards, but seems like they're going to get away with it, yeah, despite the fact that they're skirting around back to back.
Yeah, they roll on pass back to back and back to still doing it from out. They just stare at them menacingly, and then nothing else. MI9's like, wow, that was one terrifying glare. We're not coming back. Goodbye.
They're off. They're done, mate.
Yeah, they're going to take the hill. That's very, very fair enough. I mean, like I said, Erangel, one of these maps where if you can take a hill, scan it out, figure out where your next point of contact is, head on over, and then try and control the compounds that way. Looks like most teams are going to be making their way in, apart from the teams in Milta military base and a couple of guys on the western side of the map. But they are very central so far, so that they're all setting themselves up. Not many teams trying to edge guard currently.
Now, here's a team that was on your screens just briefly. Deformia Meditari. Really, really strong team. In the previous season, I believe they actually placed second. I think it was second or third. I think it was second coming in for the European region. They had a really strong group stage going forwards. Their semi-finals absolutely stellar as well. So hopefully we're going to see some great things coming through. They weren't able to make it out of prelims, unfortunately, on the global stage. So hopefully they'll be able to get there again and try and prove their salt a time again.
So if we do see that team, we will be best prepared to know that they are going to be bringing the thunder to the European region, the other Europe teams. Currently MVP, they are just chilling around in Sunken. MI9 though, after they quickly left and ran away from back-to-back, they are now looking to crash this compound with FUTL inside. Looks like MI9 do have the look on them. Lovers in. Takes a couple of shots to the face and is like, you know what, I'm good. I'm good on that one. I'm going to get back to shelter very, very quickly.
M19 just poking their heads in. Just seeing what they can get. Not too much more probably on this one. As it looks like Loverzin, you know, he's got the bead on them. They don't really want to invest too many smokes, and they only have one vehicle as well, so they can't really crash properly. But it looks like they are going to mount up nonetheless, potentially. No, they are just circling around their Dacia, but there's two players that they've got to deal with, and if they come in from one angle, they are just going to get shut down pretty quickly, pretty snappily. Yeah,
FUT currently just trying to find out where M19 are currently coming from. And I mean, really, M19 are going to very much struggle to crash this one. With the outside walls, you do have to run in that way. Here's that Deformia coming over the side. Obviously, Punisher kind of got all in tow. You can hear the gunshots coming across from FUT as well as M19, so they're looking to third party this one.
It's the second Marvel character name I've seen. I'm sure we've had Thanos before as well.
Thanos, yeah. Unfortunately, you can't just snap and half the server goes and we only have 32 players.
That's Phase 5's job.
Yeah, that is absolutely Phase 5's job. Where you have 14 teams and then you should only have 7.
Yeah, it's not the best for some of these teams, but it does coalesce us towards that final chicken dinner, which is what everybody's going to be after. Positioning yourself like that is going to be super important. And again, stacking up in a vehicle. By now, there is no excuse to be like this.
Well, I'm 19. They just like to be in the vehicle together. They like to pop some tunes down and then off they go. All right. So, ooh, that was a nice little synchronized stop there, wasn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's kind of quite easy though, if you're all in the same car to stop at the same time, isn't it?
Yeah, but they all got out at the same time.
Well, Deformia Meditari, they lose Warfer in. They're not going to losing that player early on. That's not really what they want to see. Look at them.
God.
They're like a swarm of flies, just to send it, or more like a plague of locusts.
Gimme, gimme, gimme, gimme.
Yeah, they're just taking all of that loot for themselves.
I wonder if they even asked each other what they were taking, or if it's just on auto at this point.
There's a lot of teams over on the western side of the north of the river, over towards North George, yet to move on in for now. Two teams are combating for that position. Unique, they've taken position up north of the river already, as well as MVP, relatively close to each other. And they might have a little bit of strength, and an easterly shift again zones the teams towards the south, towards each other. They might have to move through Yasnaya if they don't want to cross the river early on. You can see everyone is going to be thinking about making that rotation now already.
Yeah. What's interesting so far, John, is that from what we've seen, a lot of these teams have been doing a lot of traveling, right? They are trying to make their way into the best spots possible for them, but practically all teams have been in a vehicle at some point or another and traveled quite a far distance. Now we're seeing Deformia once again, so it's surprising because you imagine there's only so many vehicles on the map, so it's crazy to think that so many teams have got so many on hand.
Deformia Meditari making the rotation. This is good. They've convoyed up. Brilliant stuff. They're going to be able to move around and spread out exactly how they want to, so nicely done. Unique already making that rotation along near the north bank as well, moving on up. M19 still holding down a compound. They are in the zone just a little bit southwest of Yasnaya for now. And they've got some decent shots over onto Cream.
Yeah, so 3 teams here kind of in a triangle formation. FUT held down that compound very well, so M19 were like, wow, we'll just take our own compound on the other side, and now it's kind of all swapped around a little bit, because now Cream are in the position that M19 were in before. M19 know exactly what kind of angles they will have available to them, which puts them in a good spot to take that, but again, they have to be very careful of FUT, who are ready to just third party them at any point. Oh, God.
What's going on there?
That's a bit mean, isn't it?
Yeah, just having a bit of a kerfuffle. Not quite on the same page, but
maybe they're completely on a different page, John. They're just like fighting each other from the beginning of the game. Have a vehicle nudge, mate. Take it.
Oh, I thought he was gonna just go straight for it, but no, they do.
Just go off.
They do take position around the top of this lake, which is actually a decent spot. It makes it very easy to rotate north or south should the circle move that way. With the vehicles that they have in their possession as well, they should be just fine moving on forward. So nice spot picked up for Deformia Meditari. You can see Unique have a similar kind of idea, moving on forwards across that northern side, and they will be able to rotate around that, the top of the lake as well, if they so choose.
As you can see, Punisher's actually made a very, very far rotation away from his team, just scouting out what's going on. Obviously, he will probably see Unique and also MVP on his right and left-hand side. Doc here taking shots. I think they've both got snipers.
They've both got M24s.
Bloody hell, that is a terrifying comp. Oh, no.
Still can't find the shot, though.
No, sadly. I mean, they are in a pretty awkward situation, though, like trying to move into this. It'd be funny if the whole team had snipers.
They might do.
Cream still looking for a place to stay currently. There have been a bit. It's been a bit off. How do you miss that shot?
Yeah, no, you can't miss that shot. That's not allowed.
Come on.
If you yeah, okay. He deserves to go down for that. That's not. You've got to be. You've got to hit those shots. There's no excuse.
The only excuse you have there is if your pet came up to you and nudged you whilst you were playing. That's your only excuse.
Yeah.
But even then, like, come on.
Or if you spontaneously drop your phone. Maybe.
You have to be unmoving when you play PUBG Mobile. You've got to have arms like concrete when you play.
Yeah.
Just don't move.
My arms are permanently... I actually mold my arms into concrete blocks.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, when I play. It takes quite a while to set up, but once you're there, I just feel like my gameplay is just that much better.
Do you get like a solid 30 minutes of playtime before you have to concrete?
So I recently changed from using normal cement to quick dry cement. So I have reduced setup time to around 4 hours. Which is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
In terms of that.
And you hit those headshots now then, don't you?
So I normally play for around 30 minutes, and then I get the jackhammer out.
Wow. Okay, M19, the DP, doing the work. You know how it is. A Unique old boy. Obviously coming up on your screen very quickly. Unique taking some names already, so showing exactly why they were in those global finals after all. And again, Cream, they are a couple of pilgrims at the moment. They are really making some long journeys to try and find somewhere to stay, and really every place they've just been turned away from the inn.
Yeah, they're not really finding any luck, unfortunately.
Probably have to find a barn at this rate.
Yeah, just grab your little donkey and see what you can get done.
FUT, they have moved from compound to compound, so these guys have been doing well. I'm actually happy with what I've been seeing FUT pulling out. M19 though, they still have control on this very much raised compound, so they're pretty safe from the south side, and from the north, from the west side, sorry, they're going to be very much easily being able to deal with Cream when they come out of the tree line.
Pushing back. They haven't really had to leave this compound. They've been here for quite a while now.
Yeah.
On just to the southwest of Yasnaya. See, the circle really sort of zoning in towards the lake means that the position that both Unique and Deformia Meditari took up is actually going to pay off just a little bit. It should be, able to try and get the foot in the door there.
Yep. Punisher obviously giving the rest of his team the all green to come on up, and it will be now the rest of Deformia just meeting up on the top side, having a little council on deciding where to go next. But SMG, we'll take a look at them. Evil Esports at the bottom of the hill. This is not a good spot for them, so unless they can res out of there on that UAZ, should be a little bit pressed here versus SMG. They come on up. There's one out.
Oh dear.
Sir does manage to get out of the vehicle, but he has to get away from it pretty pronto. It is on fire. There is the lean. Damn. You are very much going down there, and that is 2 players knocked out from Evil Esports.
Yeah, they are going down. There's no way that their team can come back to them as well. Jet Gill up the hill. No way that they can rotate back in. Is that another player down for Evil as well? Oh, that's disastrous. It's only slow now. Has to go a little bit quicker than his namesake. And that's not going to help, is it?
Do a barrel roll. Just do a barrel roll. It's fine. It was tactical. It was tactical. It was tactical. It's really put off ROG. Really put off his aim there.
Somehow it has, you're right. But Deformia Meditari now starting to clash with Old Boy. That's a guy you don't want to find on the map. Of course, really heavy fragger coming in for his squad.
I really like SMG's current positioning. Obviously, they've got the zone behind them, which means that they're very much covered on the backside. And really, they just have to walk forward, fire down the hill. And they're sitting pretty. They're absolutely sitting pretty right now.
Looking to try and punch on through. Unique, they've sort of moved away now. It looks like they might actually just rotate around to the west and go for the next circle, because of course that zone really isolating now around the lake. You do need to make your choice. You do need to be on the side of the river that you really feel most comfortable on. And at the moment, the south is so heavily populated that they're going to risk going for that cross later on and holding a little bit of a safer spot. It makes sense. It's great. They know that Old Boy can frag out if they need to. They're relying on that.
Yeah, the magic is here now. The cards have been flung into the windows, and they have found all headshots. Thanos looking to take down half of the team. Takes a couple of shots of his own, and that will be him immediately out. Looks like M19, the crash was strong from Magic, and they'll finish them off, and they no longer have control of this compound. FUT, however, they're ready and waiting to take down Magic, but they just did not also have that confidence to do what Magic just did, which was crash that compound very, very heavily. And now this is going to give a lot of cover overall for Magic. Cream still just chilling.
Oh,
in comes Ultra. I don't know how good of a crash that was at all. They will find one, though.
They do trade it.
Yeah, one player very, very low on FUT currently.
Yeah, Ultra are starting to move in. They've come in dribs and drabs. The nades are starting to come out from Futbolist, but in comes the Raz, and they aren't going to be able to get the spray down. He's just going for it. Okay, interesting.
Wow, what a nade as well.
Makes a third as well. Brilliant nades coming out. Brilliant hold coming out from Futbolist.
They've done a bloody good job there, to say the least. Now it's Magic. Look how many teams are trying to crash all these compounds.
He's gone. He's done.
This is the DP in action. Look at that. The spray is so controlled from Naya. It's just big time. And now look, another player even trying to run down the hill. If he's not realised now, that is an absolute war zone. That's not what you want run towards, that's what you run away from.
Yeah, absolutely. Some questionable rotations starting to come in from a lot of these players. They seem to just decide to go somewhere and then don't stop, even if the situation changes.
We go there, and if there is several landmines and also the red zone, we don't stop. Don't worry about it.
Don't even. That's fine, mate.
Yeah. Oh, there's 18 players over there. You know what? Let's go.
Well, I mean, we said we were going.
Yeah. So we can't stop now.
It'd be rude, really.
It's already in the sat nav.
Unique taking a little bit of a pounding, but Yasha gives it back as good as they get. Panda falls. Unique holding down the northern side. Deformia Meditari moved around there as well. Both of the top two teams from the previous season. They're both making very similar rotations now, which, you know, begs the question, why is nobody else trying to do the same thing? The southern side of this circle now starting to crunch down the river. A real heavy obstacle for a lot of these teams if they choose to go for it. Jetgill on a beam under the bridge.
Cheeky.
Just trying to hide it out. Moretza at the side as well, playing the coast. Seeing what he can find.
Evil Esports slow. He has made it all the way down here, still in the circle currently, does not want to be caught out. He's a little bit of a tough spot though, because he's going to have to cross the road. You are very visible crossing that one. And really, other than that, his options are to go through the river. Again, Magic Master with that DP, putting in the work as per usual. And now we're going to start to see those teams fall one by one.
Is a very interesting circle that's just popped. Unique, very close to being on the northern side, although it becomes the western side in the next circle. The only bridge really controlled by two teams as well. Deformia Meditari have to push straight through Unique. There's no way that they really want to go down south and try and crash that way. So we'll see what they opt to do. We'll see who comes out on top of that fray. But fantastic Esports, they're holding down a really strong compound here. Players to the south of them might prove a little bit tricky, but both of them are going to have to fight each other. There's no prompts to move just yet. The next zone not quite popping in, but as Phase 5 encroaches, these teams will start to fall.
Very, very slow push from the zone coming up from the southern side, so they have a little bit of time. Seems like MVP, but look at this. Just a huge clump of teams all together, back to back, just completely out. FUT surviving it for a little bit longer. They've got one player in the Harry Potter tower as well to ensure that the team does not all go down whilst they're sitting inside that tiny little bunker where if just one grenade goes through properly cooked, you are basically cooked yourself.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty difficult to come back from that. One player down from Unique's, 4 kills on board already. About half of the lobby has disappeared, but we're still on 13 teams remaining. A lot of dribs and drabs starting to come through. Those risky rotations really not paying off for a lot of the squad. As Yasha falls from Unique as well, they are struggling to hold down this position at this stage.
Yeah, Deformia. They are taking a couple of kills from Unique. Unique just trying their best to stay within this smoke and stay alive. Another smoke does come through, does cover Rogue. Looks like Kitsune is going to go for the resurrect there, knowing that he just can't make it to the last circle by himself. He's going to need a player with him. Obviously, Old Boy, he is a little bit further down the hill. Got the vehicle on the side of him for cover. Top fragger, of course, but currently Deformia really being a thorn in their side from the back.
You know, I thought BG stood for Brothers Gang, but I think it might be Billy Goat's Gruff, because at the moment, they're just hanging around this bridge like there's no tomorrow. You can see they're just having a swim, trying to cross. But no, the trolls of SMG are ready and waiting. Oh, no.
That's an underhand.
Yeah, he didn't want the underhand there. It's not going to go well for you. It is still cooking.
If you wanted to catch that, yeah, go for the underhand. But if you want to toss it into the water, that's what you need to get in there. Punisher is really putting the hurt on Unique right now. Kitsune, though, clapping back onto Punisher before FUT can finish him off. It's just Old Boy really up and alive now, but he is
next zone
really not in a lot of cover. And the next zone just flings it back down south once again. Old Boy is in, though, but he will be pretty much a solo player at this point. Rogue is in such a tough spot.
There's an average of almost 2 players per team, by the way. Everybody has lost a player at this stage. I think it may be Cream have all of their squad left, but other than that, I can't really spot anyone who has all 4 players left standing.
I mean, Fantastic Esports, there you go.
Fantastic Esports, that's the team to look out for. Cream as well have power, but they are being eliminated down on the south as I say that. Taking a little bit of a whiffy fight. Old Boy, though, has control of this north side. If he can stay hidden, he's the only one really on that bank with any sort of power. Deformia Meditari, they need to start to push in, but everybody's going to have them in their sights. The players across the way, Futbolist and Magic, all going to be looking that way as well.
Really, the massive question here is which way does this circle swing? Like, from my standpoint, you would imagine it would swing over to the eastern side, but if by some weird luck and weird chance we do hit over to the western side, Unique is in a very good position with Old Boy standing strong over there, or should I say Prone's very strong. Fantastic Esports, though, obviously with the 4 members, that puts them in very good stead as coming into that final circle. But here comes Asterion, but taking a lot of damage
they don't even know
as they make the park.
They are just so confused by that. They had no idea where they were going, and they are just going to get shut down for it. He gets a spray off, so nicely done there. And Future Esports lose their... Sorry, Fantastic Esports lose one of their players, but Lunatic should not have got away with that.
Not at all. I mean, he's still alive as well. He was like, I don't know what's going on, and then someone rocked him and was like, I know how to shoot people, so I'm just going to do that. Another member down for Fantastic Esports as well.
Trying to lose a little bit, but Old Boy still in it. He's managed to shimmy his way into the next zone. There's a player sitting in the river from the Brothers Gang as well.
And also gifted a loot crate there. It's only the Billy Gruff himself who's in the water, who is also in distance of grabbing that crate. And if he should be drawn in by it, Old Boy will definitely have something to say about it. Naya, Magic, so far, they have been one hell of a fragging team. 11 kills on the screen there. You just saw it for a very short second.
Deformia Meditari are out, by the way. Old Boy is in probably the best spot in the entire map. He can just stay where he is. He doesn't need to move. Everybody else is going to have to leave their compound. They're all going to have to fight against each other, and he can just pick up the scraps. 11 kills already on the board for Futbolist, by the way. Really high kill count coming through. As 5 teams remain. Brothers Gang, with their final remaining player just swimming around. He seems to have got his snorkel on.
There's a circle come for us, though. Right dead center, so not either east or west.
Look at this. Old Boy moves instantly.
Whoa, he's straight through the water.
Yeah,
what a madman.
I don't know if he knew that Brothers Gang player was there.
Absolute fish. Just hopped on over. Futbolist with 3 members, Magic also with 3 members, but look at every single of the team only got 1 player online, so Magic and Futbolist currently in the best position. Unique Old Boy, he's taking a little bit of damage. He's healing up, though.
This is super smart. So you can heal if you're in a car underwater. I don't know if he managed to get it. I don't know if he went into the car to heal, but that would be super smart if he did. No, he's snaking it now. He's on the coastline.
That's painful. That is absolutely painful.
Yeah, Magic able to shut that one down, and Unique climb another place. They now have their spot over on this side of the river. A nicely placed push, but Old Boy is in the sights of so many different teams. He's really just going to be snaking around at this stage. He's found a rock. He's found some cover.
Yeah, he is currently the only player in the circle right now. Futbolist, Asterion, Magic, all very scared to move their way in. Magic has only got a tree available to them. And really, no matter what kind of magic you pull out, you cannot duplicate those trees whatsoever. Futbolists, though, they do have Asterion in the rear. He's not pulling out anything yet. I think he does know that there is a player down there, and it looks like he's just playing for placement right now, which is really, really smart.
Well, that was Magic getting eliminated.
Yeah, Old Boy now, he has to contend with 3 players, but Asterion, if they work together, they can potentially do something, but that's it. Old Boy straight out. Now it's just Asterion versus 3. There is one player who is quite low, so whilst he heals, Asterion potentially has a chance here, but the 1v3, so difficult to pull off.
They're going to suss this out in about 5 seconds, exactly where he is. They're going to have checked every single other angle, and they're going to realize, okay, he must have been snaking around behind us. You can see the angles they're checking.
This is the worst
They've
place.
isolated it from him, and Lunatic really on the ropes at the moment. I'm surprised they haven't figured it out by this stage, actually, but looks like they are just having a little bit of a look out. They think he might be in the river. They think he might be behind the loot crate. That's the 2 calls that are being made.
There is a big potential here. He has eyes on all players. This means that if he does drop up...
He's spotted, I'm pretty sure. They just got the aim bump. Try and get it.
There he comes. Lowers in, just desperately looking. He's come close, doesn't get it though, and that will be it. Futbolist played extremely well the entire game, managed to keep many members alive. 3 total at the end there, so really, it's a big kill game as well. You're going to have, obviously, 12 kills total for them overall. 14, sorry. So that's a really, really strong game. So
that's 13 kills.
Is it 13? It's 3, 3, 4, 4, 8, 6.
8 plus 3 is 11. 14.
What are you on about?
Wait, what? Yeah. No, I don't know. We'll have a
14.
Look.
Yeah, that's what I said. Come on.
Did I say that? Oh, okay.
He said 13. Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
well, whatever. They got a lot of kills. Is the main point.
They got so many kills.
Futbolists, yeah, they had a really strong position for a majority of that game. You saw them held down several different compounds, and they moved compound to compound. And finally, they just had the strength in numbers from using that hard cover. Although, what we saw a lot of the time was aimless and dangerous rotations, right? That's where they got shut down. Well, the majority of these players got shut down like that. They're making pushes that really aren't going to pay off for them in the long run to try and maybe get a little bit of ground. You can see, you know, even M19 pushing in there, back-to-back pushing in here as well. Like, there's no reason that people should be rotating like that.
There was literally like people crashing a compound with 2 other teams already battling out there, and then not even a third party, but a fourth party off in the wings just firing on them.
I'll tell you what, I can't wait for Sanhok if this is the amount of third party going on Erangel.
The game is going to be finished in literally 5 minutes.
Yeah, so. We saw about half the lobby alive with, I think it was 15 teams or like 14, 13 teams.
15, I think it was 14 teams with 31 players alive.
Yeah, and
which is just insane, by
the way. You should never be seeing that. That to me says that that's exactly indicative of aimless rotations. They need to figure it out. They need to figure out how they rotate as a team. Scouting needs to be tightened up. And they need to try and figure out where other people are dropping. It feels like they're playing it like solo squads, or it feels like they're playing it like solo queue or squad queue, and they're not paying attention to, you know, where teams like to drop, where they've dropped in the past. That you should be aware that, you know, oh, these guys like to go here. They have done so many times before, and no one's keeping track of it. No one's tracking in their mind what's going on. Maybe 1 or 2 of them are, but we just didn't quite see that shine through. Of course, it's one game that we've seen so far, but in come the points.
So we're going to have the teams currently. Obviously, we saw Magic actually not get that many placement points, only 8, but they made up for it in the terms of kills. They got 12 total. Futbolists obviously very much in the lead there with 34 points and the winner chicken dinner. Asterion Myth making it all the way to the end there. Actually, kill points only 3, but the placement points are 14 because Lunatic did make it all the way to that 2nd place. Team Unique also, Old Boy coming in very, very handy towards the end there. And actually, this is something to talk about. Unique, the way they played in the global finals, where it was very, very aggressive with players dying after the first initial fight. That's what it seemed to me there as well. Anyway, we have the scoreboard at number 2 coming from the screen. Ultra Team at the top in number 9th place. Deformia Meditari with 5, M19 we're coming down to 5, then over to SİMURGA at 5 again, and then we have these last 4 teams, Creamo Sports EU with 2, and the last 3 teams, Evil Esports, MVP Esports and Chaos, only with the 1 point.
Yeah, the point system changing so dramatically from last season, I really like. It means that the bottom of the tables do become very easily ladderable, and that's exactly what you want to see. Of course, it's the top 24 teams that go through, so you only need to avoid being in that bottom 16. That's really the name of the game here in the group stages, right? You don't need to be the best. You don't need to, you know, have flashy, fantastic plays, but of course that's nice to have.
Wonderful.
But all you need to be, aware of is just don't be trash.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, that's all you need to know. And for us, we're going to go for a very, very quick break, and we'll be back with you very soon.
PUBG Mobile Team Deathmatch. Anytime, anywhere. There is a better choice. PUBG Mobile Team Deathmatch. A quick game for those short breaks. There is a better choice. PUBG Mobile Team Deathmatch. Endless respawn, endless fun. There is a better choice.
Hello, welcome back to the PUBG Mobile Club Open Fall Split. This is the European region that you are watching. So, really, we've already seen map 1. It's pretty excellent so far.
It was, well, excellent I think is a bit of a strong word. I would say exciting, eventful, interesting in terms of some of those rotations. But it was, as we say, exciting and entertaining. I think that's the kind of the bottom line here, of course. Is going to be the FUTBOLIST coming out. Looking pretty good there.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, if you are wanting to beat out anyone on the battlefield, you're going to need seamless and uninterrupted gaming. And that's why our sponsor today for the European region is NEX.
Absolutely. It's going to be outstanding performance and more powerful and more immersive than ever before for those glorious chicken dinners.
Yeah, we make it sound amazing, and it is. Anyway, we will be getting into map 2 very, very shortly, which will be Sanhok, John. The king of maps when it comes to third party.
Yeah, it's exactly what the EU region I think thrives on, right? They're going to be looking to try and just go in for these fights because apparently that's what they like to do in EU. They like to just see a fight.
Yes.
It's like moths to a flame, right?
Absolutely.
It's they can't resist it. You know, you just gotta find it.
And the funny thing is that like just like a moth of a light, despite the light being very, very hot and unenjoyable to touch, the moth will directly fly at it and hit its head on it. Just like the European players when it comes to a highly contested compound. It is like a very bright flame.
Absolutely. It's exactly the same. I think that they need to kind of back up their ideas. What I want to see is a team try and bait in a fight by firing off and maybe trying to posture as if there's a fight going on. And then letting the other team come in and they just go, actually, we're one team. And then they just turn around.
The funny thing about that is that every time we heard gunshots on the map, literally about 18 other teams started shooting. It's like one guy shoots like, oh god, we've got to shoot as well.
It's like Buffalo or something. When one of them starts running, they're like, oh, gotta run.
Yeah,
a stampede.
Or like cows. One cow moves, every other cow moves.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, other than that, it might just be first game jitters as we head over to Sanhok, which is a map where really dangerous rotations will get you killed pretty pronto. So you would imagine that these teams would buck it up in a big way, like you say, John. So here we can see this on this group stage for Sanhok, and this is match number 2.
Hopefully we can chalk up the first game to match day nerves. Of course, all of these teams, they have played through all of the qualification spots, but they are going to have to pick it up when it comes to their strategies, it seems. Being able to rotate on foot, though, a little bit of an advantage potentially. The vehicles don't seem to be going too well for EU at the moment, so we'll see who's going to be able to be king of the hill over here.
Absolutely, as we see the players parachute on down. A pretty easy playing path for them all, as they can pretty much go anywhere here, and especially with Sanhok being such a small map, it means that the parachute distance is massive here on Sanhok. Do have a couple of teams down in the docks, a couple of teams in Kampong, but it is, of course, boot camp that all these European teams are trying to vie for.
The most forgiving circle possible, slap bang in the middle of all the islands. No one really going to have to move too much. Only Ultra really looking at having any sort of a problem to think of. But 2 teams over in boot camp. It's back-to-back. It's Deformia Meditari as well. There is a team off to the north, actually, however. Yeah, Asterion.
The funny thing is that it was Asterion and back-to-back who also hit up Pubg too. So it looks like these teams really like their hot drops in a big way. But back-to-back, they will be holding outside on the exterior buildings, whereas it looks like Deformia have made a massive jump for the lobster right in the middle, which provides pretty excellent loot to you.
Yeah, they have got a cohort on the outer skirts as well, but luckily enough for them, back-to-back have decided to all group together on the drop down south. They are getting spotted out. Cornell just going to be relaying that information. Asterion, they're probably going to be biding their time. There's no way they want to push in. They will have seen 2 teams go for it. Although, to be fair, if they start the fight, I wouldn't be too surprised if they did push into the compound against my advice, but I think that might happen. Fight's already starting to break out yet again. Within 2 minutes, we have our first death.
Easy peasy. It was FUTBOLIST who will take that down, our winners from the previous match on Erangel. This is crazy. Europe is absolutely insane to watch. They are so aggressive. Though goes down Odin too. So already another knock coming through. But currently we're just looking at boot camp because this is where 3 teams currently occupying it. At some point they will have to make the move out. The problem is if you move out towards the south side, it means you have to run up the hill, which is very visible to teams like Deformia and Asterion, who will be definitely watching as they try and remove themselves from this compound.
Yeah. Okay, we'll have to see if these early fights do come back to bite any of these squads. Of course, Alpha going down is probably the most impactful kill going on. Of course, there's two kills. I didn't quite catch who the second one was. I think it might have been the Brothers Gang losing a player.
Yeah, it
double check on that.
It was Brothers Gang. They lost a player there.
They're all the way up in north near Hudson, which is over on that northwestern island as well. So they did get spotted out, I believe, by MVP as well, just playing on that bridge as they are going to rotate their player back over. For the meantime, though, boot camp really isn't going to be too much of a contest in zone.
If we look at the Brothers Gang, there is actually one player who is very far removed from the rest of his gang, indeed. You've got, obviously, Sonnet all the way down here on the bottom, just trying to fight out a team on his own. So I'm not too sure on that one. Punisher currently hiding in the wings. That seems to be the play of Deformia. I'm really liking it so far. They just have one scout in the form of Punisher who just tries to relay information to them. And also ensuring that they don't get caught out from behind, which is very, very smart for Deformia because although they know back-to-back is in front of them, they're also still covering their rear. This is Brothers Gang fakes on it. So, I mean, I don't know why he's here, but
Cream
he is.
Have lost 2 players. He should be able to spot this out with third person. He's going to go not too sure on taking that fight like that, unfortunately. Pocus doing all right in the fight, but fakes on it should have been able to third person peek that and go for the fight that way, but instead he opts to run out right into the open.
Yeah.
Meets his maker because of it.
Yeah, he performed a little bit of hocus pocus on him and he fell to the floor. Very, very upsetting, all in all, for him.
I have lost my knees.
I have lost my knees. Where have my kneecaps gone? Oh, you shot him out. That feels pretty bad.
Strung him up on a necklace, hang him as a trophy.
Yeah, Brothers Gang really aren't feeling like a Brothers Gang at all. They seem to just leave their players high and dry all over the place. That is a Brothers Gang of 2 people.
It's more like the Pirates gang, that.
Yeah. Is it even a gang at this point where it's just a couple of lads? They're like, we're in a gang. No,
Players.
you're not. You're just a couple of mates. Stop it.
Yeah, it's like, you know, when you're in year 7. You're like, we're a gang now.
You've got a gang which is just like a couple of 4-foot guys wandering around the playground.
And one of them has a hoodie, and that's really cool.
Oh, yeah. He's the most gang out of all.
Oh, yeah.
He got a couple of leather bracelets as well, dude. It's easy.
And he gave one to a girl once.
Oh, my Lord. This guy wouldn't want to step to him at all.
No, never.
He might put silly string on my car. M19.
You don't have a car.
Shh, they don't have to know. M19 currently on the top side. Magic, obviously one of our high kill teams from last game, just already putting in the work at the beginning. But it looks like M19 have taken a high position. And Unique, to be honest with you, again, I am happy with this rotation from them. They're on the high ground. They probably have a scout going for them as well. Make sure they don't get third-partied or they don't get a team coming from behind them. You know, all in all, Unique have been very impressive, like compared to everyone else, which is a little bit weird. And I'm sure that's more a thing for where Unique they've got a lot of experience under their belt, and they're happy to bring it back to the European region. You would imagine the rest of these teams they'd quickly. Basically catch up. But for the time being, we are in day 1. It is early stages, and we need to get back into the flow of things.
Still seeing SİMURGA split up. Right in the middle of the map as well, right in the middle of the circle. Not too sure about that one, especially this late into the game on Sanhok. You do really want to be a little bit closer to each other. You don't want to be split up by 2 teams, and that's exactly what's happened with M19 filling in that gap between those 2 stations of the SİMURGA players over to the east of boot camp. You've got Unique in that area as well. You've got Asterion and the Futbolists as well. This stalemate in boot camp is still going on.
Yeah.
As well.
They're just staring each other down at the moment. They're like, well, who's going to leave first? Well, I don't want to leave. Or do you want to leave? No. So Deformia and back-to-back, very happy just to chill on out for a long, long time, especially because the circle, as you can see, or you can't see it yet on your screen, but it is just super, super very much, it is the most circle of circles.
It's a very circular circle.
It's a very circular circle.
I agree with that.
And boot camp is dead slap in the middle. So You want to hang out there? I don't think it's a too bad of an idea. Currently, Deformia is just trying to get a bead on back-to-back, make sure that when they finally do rear their heads, they'll know exactly where to put the bullets, really.
Yeah. NewCycle over on that northwestern island as well, pretty much just playing the edge there. Cream, they've lost a lot of players. They are going to be playing on the southeast of that northwest island, so just pretty much very central on the map in general, but they might have to cross those rivers, which is pretty tricky to do in their current location. They'll have to make a concerted effort to do so, especially with only 2 players. Moving over towards boot camp, highly treacherous, that crossing, very, very difficult. The Brothers gang probably want to be moving across the bridge relatively soon towards somewhere like Tapmock, but they can't be sure that there's no one there, which is fair enough. You know, that's why they haven't really moved over just yet, but they are going to be able to think about that one for just a moment, as everybody has really kind of found a relatively central spot for now, and no one wants to move, which is interesting, considering the last game that we saw.
Yeah, SMG currently, they've got Morteza very much in front there, John. Magic coming on from the eastern side, trying to wander it on in, get to one of those hill spots and try and figure out where their next play is. But currently, Brothers gang, they've just been playing rock, paper, scissors up in Hatin for about 10 minutes. So I'm happy with that. I think they're trying to figure out who's going to split up first, like who's going to leave Hatin, who's going to leave Hatin next.
They're sacrificing one brother at a time to the rest of the teams.
Exactly. A good tactic, to be honest with you. At some point, one of the teams is going to see a brothers gang player and be like, you know what, you did actually give us a lot of kill points. We'll let you go. Yeah. I think that's the intention. And really, top 12 teams get to go through from each group. So if Brothers gang can just make sure they're in that top 12, they go through to semi-finals. And really, they just want to make it all the way through, but on just kindness. So that's fine. Not kindness to their own team, though.
No.
Yeah. They are sacrificing them one by one.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Look at what you could do is, if someone's pushing into your compound, you could just send one of them out as a decoy, and then they chase after them, and you can go for 3 crashes before you get taken out.
I don't think they realise that's not a special ability. That is just one of your teammates. Okay. Unique still on this high ground. It's very, very good. Look at all the hard cover around them.
No one's moving, which means they don't need to move either.
Yeah.
It's reasonable that they're going to stay here. The next circle is going to pop in a couple of seconds, so we'll be able to see that.
Yeah. In a hot minute, we will see where the circle heads off to. People would be very, very happy if it just like slammed a little bit more center again. But yeah, that Orm with a suppressor as well for the AR. It's going to be really good for Kitsune. The Orm late game, that is a powerhouse. It does not care if you've got a Spetsnaz helmet on. It will blow it right off along with your head.
Yeah, he's managed to pick that one up nicely, does it? He replaces his M24 with it, but he goes down. Okay. Asterion, get the bead. Are they going to be able to finish it off? No, not quite. He's managed to find a bit of cover, but...
Oh, the tree is taking a beating.
He's still taking some damage. He needs to try and push... Yeah, this is a good
That's actually a very good play.
That was super smart, moving up to the crate. There's so much more cover there. It's so much easier for his team to start to come on through.
Yeah. The big thing here for me, though, is that now Asterion has started shooting, John. You can be sure that the cows are going to start to move very, very shortly as well, and many other teams will be coming up to this location. Like we said before, Sanhok, such a small map, rotations are not difficult. And Asterion do not want to leave this compound, though, because they will be out of cover. Currently, all they can hope to do is whittle Kitsune down. Oh, boy. Does he leave him down there, though? That's the question. Do they have enough smokes to make a little smoke train, a little smoke path down to him? I don't think they do. Oh, here we go. There's one. This could potentially allow the rundown, and it is. Oh boy!
Yeah.
What a massive jump he made there as well. Literally a Spider-Man jump.
Yeah,
very
really
nice.
Exactly as it needed to be. He knew he had the sight lines behind that tree to be able to just drop down. Gravity's going to send you faster than you can run.
Yeah.
So he is going to be able to get the res on up, and they do keep that orm in play for Kitsune. Of course, the sniper for Unique. So that was on the right player at the right time, and now they can start to fire down onto Asterion.
There's the cows coming right in. It's MVP. It is literally Mr. Wolf, and he smells them.
Oh dear, Cream taking another beating as well. They're not having a greatest game. The crossing not going well for them as they do move straight into NewCycle, but they're still going for it.
That's a pity smoke if ever I saw one, really.
Yeah, MVP take a little bit of damage of their own. They lose Danny.
Yeah, from Unique as well. So Unique made a really long shot there. But
That's
now,
Cream out.
Lunatic, they're playing a dangerous game with Kitsune in particular because they know where they will be popping their heads. There is only so many windows on Sanhok compounds. As we see, first team does go out is Cream. But like I said, there are only so many windows you can pop your head out on Sanhok compounds. And if Kitsune spots you and he gets a headshot with that arm, boom, you are out of the game.
Doesn't even need a headshot.
Doesn't even need a headshot. A body shot would do the trick.
Just smash it out. Next circle, going to zone everyone pretty much to the main island. Everyone's going to need to make this rotation relatively soon. Of course, the Brothers gang have now moved across to the main island. It should be okay there.
Yeah.
As everyone else is vying for position. The south side is pretty sparse in terms of compounds and cover, so it's no surprise really that no one's moved there. But for the moment, Deformia Meditari and back-to-back really in a very good spot over on boot camp. I mean, as long as they kind of have agreed not to fight in this situation.
Which is fair. Punisher, the scout from Deformia and also the scout from back-to-back walked out, both contract in hand, and they got each other to sign it. So absolutely fine in that sense. They are happy to just coexist in boot camp. Now, Brothers gang making their way down from the north side, and Evil Esports, after that pretty sad end to their run on Erangel, they have actually decided to play a little bit more safe, and they're looking to cross over by Cave and Painan.
Fantastic team. Or fantastic esports.
They are a fantastic team as well.
They are a fantastic team. Fantastic esports. They're vying for control of the northeast. Not in the greatest position, but at the moment it's Magic and Chaos who are really trying to control that eastern flank. The center of the map at the moment, I would say, is pretty dominated by Unique in this current situation. They've got a good spot. They've got that Orm as well. They've got the sightlines to play with. So hopefully they'll be able to hold that one down, stop those teams from boot camp from getting any further in. You can see Deformia Meditari have finally broken the deadlock, and they've moved away now. They've moved southeast, and they are actually moving a little bit closer to Unique and the rest of the squad. So as they move on in, the next circle is just about to pop. Back-to-back look like they want to take the fight, though.
Yeah, as you can see, Unique is on the screen there for you on the map. So you now see where the next circle goes. Unique still sitting pretty in this one, but back-to-back they will have to move. And now it's Deformia who have the advantage after making that preemptive removal of themselves from boot camp. But Unique look like they will be putting their hurt on Deformia already. You can see Rogue has found one of the players, most likely Punisher, the scout from Deformia.
No, they're going for the fight.
Yeah, it was Warfarin who actually went down, but Rogue's still very close. Unique, oh boy, wow, this is a pretty bold push from him. Out come the nades.
Nice nade over the top there from Cornell.
Excellent.
Oh, it's Punisher's nade, actually found it. Bombardment, relatively strong. Warfarin is down, however, and there's a lot of damage onto the rest of the Deformia Meditari squad. Warfarin bleeding out very quickly. This is going to force the rotation coming out and from the rest of his squad and see what they can get.
Very happy with the way that Unique actually played this. They do get the player back up, and oh boy, does not miss those shots. He was really very much preoccupied with getting his team member up, which is the correct thing to do, especially in PUBG Mobile. And it looks like Deformia just put too much stock into making those very fast pushes, but they were pushing with 3 members, whereas Unique, oh boy, knew he had 2 members behind him with his back.
This is super smart now. Unique are like, you know what, we've done the damage. We've already picked up the frags. We're just going to leave. We're going to go and try and fight against M19 instead, bugging out the back along the ridge line. Super smart, pretty dangerous though. Silhouetting yourself like that can prove disastrous, but they managed to get away with it, and they can hear those gunshots going off in other parts of the map a little bit further down the hill. They know M19's engaged, and they can try and third party.
Yeah, Futbolist over here, nice little spread. Yasha takes a little bit of damage, a little bit too much as well, as he drops down to about 25%. Kitsune, though, with the Orm, if one of those boys up on the mountain dares to poke his head out, he's going to have a nasty surprise waiting for him. Yeah. Yasha healing up. Smart decision. Once again, Unique Knight playing this very slowly, which is it's super different to the way that most of these other teams have been playing so far. Very smart player overall. Loving what I'm seeing. Deformia, I think they have good fragging power, and they moved at the correct time, and now they are just waiting it out, which is also a smart move on their side. But it does mean that Unique are now trapped between a rock and a hard place, and Old Boy is looking to flush the remaining players of Deformia out.
They're going to hear those footsteps. Punisher, you can see he knows exactly what's going on. It's like they might just be trying to bait out the peaks.
Just jumping up and down. Come on.
Yeah. They know what side of the hill they control. They know what side of the hill Deformia Meditari could control, but it looks like they don't know exactly where they are, because they are just moving around and hopping around like bunny rabbits.
Yeah. I mean, hopping around like this does mean that you only get the footstep sound of when they land, but it also does mean that they can see a little bit further over the top of the rock.
Yeah.
It's not a massive advantage, but it is something, and everything you can add to your repertoire is something else in the tool belt, right?
Absolutely. Looks like they are going to start to check that. Oh, Yasha could have been peeked on there.
Oh, this is very cheeky.
He's there. He's
Oh,
right
hello.
there. Yasha just ducks behind cover.
He's giving them the information now. The rest of his team will know where he is. Punisher's like, I need to finish this quick, but not before he gets absolutely ruined by Kitsune's M4.
Kinda God as well. Still trying to go. Oh boy. He's going to go down, I believe. I'm not sure if he's fully out just yet.
No, he is
he's still going.
Super low HP.
Wow.
Barely a sliver remaining to his name. Don't worry, boys. He's going to breathe that one off.
Wow, a really hard shift now on the next circle. Going all the way southwest, right onto NewCycle, right onto Evil as well, and the Futbolists as well, who we haven't really seen too much of so far. But they are really lucky on this circle as well. They've got a compound. They've got a strong spot. It's just to the west of Quarry as well, which is going to mean that those teams over on the east have to decide their rotation route. It's going to be very tricky. Ultra, they might try and make a break straight across the middle, but more than likely they're going to go around south, try and find a spot like that, because all of those teams on the north are going to be zoned in and funneled that way.
Yeah, Futbolists, the previous winners from the last match, very happy with this new positioning that they have. Chaos Doc is now down, took a lot of bullets whilst he was crawling on the floor as well. He is most likely out. I doubt any of the members of his team can make the mad dash out to help him. MVP have just been slowly losing players on the other hand. And SMG, they have actually started to take down some of the players over on the top-hand side. Asterion still in this one as well. We saw them earlier.
The Brother Gang, they split up again. No surprises there.
Have they?
Yeah, the Fantastic Esports squad are fighting against one of them.
It looks like XZZ did lose out on the rock, paper, scissors. He is now the decoy.
Yeah. Simon trying to see if he can get a little bit more done. To wait and see if he is able to do it. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, dear me. Sad times. That's what happens when you play a rock into a scissors, unfortunately.
Yeah, and well, if you play a rock into a scissors, it's going to look good.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how that works.
Well, that's what Simon did. He used the special ability decoy.
Oh, yeah, no, I see.
Yeah.
That's, yeah, no, that makes sense. Finally, back-to-back are going to try and take a fight, but unfortunately it's against Unique, and they get popped off with the QBU. Ultra, they're still controlling over on the eastern side. They do need to move pretty quickly. The zone is going to push them across the quarry relatively soon.
Yeah, football is very unhappy to just coexist in a compound, unlike Deformia, and they are going to take it to back-to-back. These guys obviously know what they're doing. They have the fragging power, and they're looking to unleash it upon back-to-back.
Speaking of unleashing it on back-to-back as well, you've got Unique on the backstab, so it's three parties all trying to fire on this one location. Unique are in a really strong spot now. They've managed to find themselves a compound on the northwest. No one else is going to be rotating through there. They might come across Simon from the Brother Gang, but
he's got no one else to play rock, paper, scissors now.
Exactly.
He is the decoy.
They have no secret weapons left, I'm afraid.
Oh, sad times.
Oh, dear.
Futbolists, though, I think this would be a great thing for Unique to be able to do, is take out a couple of players from Futbolists, just like they did with Deformia, just weaken the ranks of the tougher teams. Special gets the nice little nade onto Evo up there. Lunatic also clapping back. Look, this is every time. Every time we get some gunfire going through, you see a whole mash of knocks come through. Futbolists, they still have a couple of players up on the top of the hill as well, so you've got Overlook, which is really, really important.
Okay, another super hard shift down southwest.
Oh my God, Futbolists have got to be laughing.
They are really going to be happy about this one. Everybody's going to be trying to cross this ground through these trees, the forest. Will it be treacherous for some? Maybe so, but back-to-back as well. They're sharing the only compound in the circle. Yeah. It's really, really tricky. I'd say Unique have a really good shout here. They can move up. They can try and take position.
Because they're going to move up down here. As you can see on the map, there is a bit of raised high ground there. If they can try and move to the backside there, but Futbolists, really, really smart. They're already trying to take position up there. Obviously, will only be 2 players versus the 4 of Unique. So they're banking on a dismembered team walking up into that location. Unfortunately, they're going to be met with Unique as they come over the top of the hillside.
Yeah, 2v4, really not going to go their way.
And they've just shot. They absolutely know. Yeah, Unique bringing the pain. Solke desperately injecting here. He needs to get up to that 70% HP. That's going to really assist him when he tries to go for this. But 4 players versus 1. Chaos just eliminated in 13th place too.
They haven't got a smoke. Oh, no way are they going to get this. There's no way. There's a crossfire already established. It should be shut down in no time at all.
They just did not expect the push from Unique on really they should have done. I expected that's why they were taking that position, to prevent this push from the backhand side, of the northern side of the hill.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's just not to be. And now Futbolist, who had potentially the best shout here, instead of taking down back-to-back, which I feel like they should have done and just crashed that compound and just removed the threat there, instead, they've gone over the top side, tried to split it up.
There's so many teams just trying to heal out in the zone. I think we had about 4 or 5 on the northern side. They're starting to drop now, but they're all just trying to heal out in the zone and, you know, make those rotations earlier, make them better. Another shift down southwest, but this time the Futbolists aren't around to try and take it. This is back-to-back who are going to be able to claim that compound that they were in previously. The exit there is controlled by Unique, who have a massive advantage up on the high ground now.
Asterion Myth eliminated, as well as fantastic Esports. Nikitanga also going down from Ultra. Back-to-back, all in this one little compound by themselves. Christo quite low HP, and he's not healing up, which would lead me to believe that back-to-back is, oh, bloody out of meds.
Not going to be too happy about that one. SMG, they're trying to vie for
Old Boy takes down NewCycle.
Oh, there's
Yuki.
the Orm coming in.
And now the Orm, like you say, in this final circle, he is going to be doing some dirty work onto the players remaining, especially with actually such an open ground for Sanhok last circle.
The breach begins back-to-back. They're in one building, SMG in the other. Managed to get one knock, and Unique chiming in as well across the map. 7 teams remain, but I imagine that number's going to drop pretty quickly.
Ooh, Panda might still live here. Has to drop the first aid kit. Has to come very, very quickly. Erangel does take down one of the back-to-back players, and despite back-to-back having a pretty good position there, they are still going, but Unique, Rogue on the high ground, can take a couple of shots here. Playzone will take down Exclusive. Erangel goes down as well to Rogue, and Old Boy finished it up. NewCycle.
Panda made it into the zone. The run was just about fast enough, but he's going to be on sliver of HP. The question is, can he stay alive long enough to ladder up in terms of the points? Unique do take a knock, but they have the backup to go for the res. Only coming up against another 3 teams now.
There's a huge amount of kills coming from Unique, and it looks like they will go pick the boy up, the Old Boy. They know they want these 4 members, and they're going to spread it out now and just comb it over, knowing that there is only M19 with 2 players, NewCycle with 2 players, and SMG with their single player remaining here. Kitsune still holding onto that Orm. We didn't hear too many shots from it either, so he definitely has the ammo remaining, and that's basically like a one-tap onto someone.
Absolutely. I mean, at this stage as well, it's going to be absolutely devastating. The armor is going to be very, very low. Unique, they're looking to wrap it around. 7 kills already, and look at this push.
Of this team.
He does go down, though, for his boldness, but Unique Old Boy is there to pick up the pieces. M19 will hear that one out. They pick themselves up way more kills. It wasn't 7, it was 17. It was 17 kills for Unique.
Unique have been absolutely blasting it. And on top of that, what we've also seen is that Unique have been getting a lot of knocks, and some of their kills have been stolen as well. SMG Panda just trying to make his way through. Does spot Rogue, but Rogue spots him back. It's just so easy. No. It's so good for Unique. They're just blasting on people. The confidence from this team is just insane. Kitsune, they've already wrapped round. M19 not looking in a good spot, and he's just crouching it on in. They absolutely know the rotation on them. Team Unique, 3 players remaining. M19 dangerously close to Kitsune. Kitsune just drops up. Silence SIR comes out, will just take him down. Now 3 players advancing on Evo Station. It was all but done and dusted. Now I'm excited to see how many kills were actually in total there.
Oh,
what an insane game that was.
20 kills coming through from Unique. That's absolutely incredible.
They got
very, very, very strong.
20 kills, but 20 points for the kills. 20 points for placements. That's a 40-point game. That is incredible.
It's going to be real tough to beat. I think the maximum we've seen so far across the PMCO in the previous season was somewhere around, I think, 26 kills total. So that is up there in terms of records.
Yeah, I think that was from, I believe it was from RRQ in SEA. They had one hell of an aggressive game, and we know they're a dominant team. So very, very incredible from the boys over this side. And we're going to see some highlights as the plane comes on through. Here's the decoy being sacrificed. Oh, yeah.
What's that? Which decoy number is that? I think that might have been 2.
I think that was decoy number...
was it 1 or 2?
It was 2, yeah. Number 1 went down very, very early.
They're all the same in the eyes of the gods they sacrificed them to.
all the same in the eyes of the Brothers Gang. Oh boy, this guy had a fantastic game. Despite him maybe not getting the most kills, I think Rogue was up there with 8. he was really putting the pressure on a lot of teams, allowing the rest of his team to get those off angles and push them on in. It's very scary going against Unique.
He's
it
the fear
really
factor,
is.
right?
He is big time.
He just rolls on in. As soon as you see a guy just jumping around a corner, you're like, oh no.
Also, can't we just go back to the time when Kitsune went down behind a tree and he literally yeeted himself down the hill?
Yeah. Oh no, he's bold. He's dramatic. He's heroic.
He really is dramatic. Put him on a stage and you'd have a fantastic time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we'll see if they're able to continue that performance as well. Of course, they were the top placing team from the previous season, so they do have a lot to live up to. Seems like they're doing just that, although they did have not the greatest showing on the first map. You know, it wasn't as strong as maybe they would like to, but it was really, you know, moving in solid now. So 40 points, that's more than enough to be very happy with.
Yeah, and I think that the main thing we got to think about here is that, sure, in the first game wasn't the best. It wasn't ideal, but they made what they could of it, right? With Old Boy making it all the way to the end circle and doing a very good job from there, despite him having to cross the river. Fantastic display of dominance with getting in the car and just blasting it through the water as well. So,
absolutely.
I mean, they got themselves in a position where it's like, you know what, boys, we might not have the best game here, but at least we've set ourselves up to still get a lead if we get a fantastic game in match 2, which they absolutely did. I think the most fantastic game that we've seen at least all day.
Yeah, I mean, it was much better paced. It was much better rotated by multiple different teams. But in come the scores, 40 points, brilliant stuff coming on through. Nice to see. M19 though, they had a decent shout into this game, as well as a couple of teams that didn't have that great of a game the first time around. Yeah,
I mean, if we look at this, the kill points going through at 30 between Team Unique and M19, that's almost half of the lobby already going to just 2 teams. SMG, I think, did pretty well to make their way into. They had some unfortunate circle luck and they kept having to push through teams, and despite that they made their way all the way into that 3rd place. NewCycle coming in 4th, Evil Esports in 5th, then on to Ultra Team in 6th, 7th place goes to back-to-back, and 8th was Asterion Myth. They didn't get too many points at all though, because as we saw, they were just moving from compound to compound, not doing too much.
We'll have to see how people are going to be able to pick it up. Futbolist, the previous winners as well, only scoring 3. It's pretty disastrous. It's not how you want to springboard off a win. Deformia Meditari, again, underperforming. Not what we want to see from them. Going down in 15th position.
Despite making it quite far through that game as well. I think they were just a little bit too scared of Asterion Myth, which didn't make too much sense to me. And now here we go. We have the total scoreboard on your screen for your Team Unique, sitting pretty at the top, literally just floating on a pedestal at 57 points. Person 1 only just behind them in number 2. They're on 37. That's a massive lead here. We're looking at Team Unique, John.
Yeah, the difference between 1st and 2nd is about the same as the difference between 2nd and 8th. Well, more likely 2nd and 7th. It's bigger than the gap between 2nd and 7th, which is quite dramatic.
It's very, very crazy.
Almost as dramatic as Old Boy.
How is Brothers Gang in 8th place?
15 points.
15 points.
They managed to get some decent placements.
They've got some good placement points.
They've got 11 placement points over 2 games. They've only got 4 kills, but that's what we're talking about.
It's the kindness play. They're just unleashing the decoys once after another, and they're just going to try and gun for those 14 pointers, those 10-point games. Like we said before, just get you sent into that top 12, and that's absolutely what they've done.
The difficulty there is you're isolating yourself into playing that style. When it comes to the regional, you're great until you hit the regional finals, right?
Then they'll unleash their true form.
Then they're going to have to try and unleash it, but they won't have had the practice. No. They won't have had the same tournament experience that everybody else will have had. They'll be coming up against the strongest fraggers in the region, and they just won't be able to do a similar sort of style of thing.
Yeah, because obviously we've not actually seen Group C and D as of yet.
No, not yet.
We're only going to watch Group A and B today. Here you can see actually the other teams in the region. Obviously, none of them got any points yet because they haven't played yet.
Yeah, that does make sense. Look at that.
What the?
That's quite a few balls.
Oh my god. Okay.
Seems like Groups A and B are a China shop in this point.
Absolutely. Like, they are just going to rush on through. That's incredible to see. Unfortunately, you know what? You're going to be feeling a little bit bad if you're Yasha. You're not quite on there.
I have a question for you. Is the little U on the logo? That's what it's called. I know it stands for unique, but would you say that that's like a nose ring for the bull, or do you think it's the head?
I think it's. I was going to say it was the nose ring for the bull. For some reason, whenever I look at it, I think face.
I think it's nose. Every time it says nose ring to me.
Yeah, it says nose ring. It says nose ring to me, but I feel face. I don't know why.
You feel face.
Yeah. It's very strange.
You should get that tattooed.
I should I see nose ring, I feel face. Anyway, boys, we're going to go to a quick break before we come back with you on match number 3. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back very, very soon.
Oh, yeah. Go.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Hello and welcome back to the PUBG Mobile Club Open 2019 Fall Split for the European region. NEX is our sponsor today, and if you want to beat everyone out on the battleground, you absolutely need that seamless and uninterrupted gaming time that NEX provides. That teams like Unique, they have that kind of power, right?
Oh,
I mean, just looking from that last game, it was just an incredible game they had. And on the kill board, if you weren't with us and you missed that last match, they had 3 players on the kill leaderboard, which is cumulative, by the way, so it is racking up as we go through.
Oh, yeah.
And a 20 kill game going out in first place, that's a total of 40 points, John. That's incredible.
That's nutty. That's a lot of points. That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points, boys.
It's a lot of points, boys. They are going to be pretty happy with that performance, of course. Congratulations to them for that one. But they need to maintain. That's the idea, right? They came top of last season in the spring split. This time around, it's the fall split. It's an entirely different game, but it seems like they're playing the same thing.
Yeah, it absolutely does. They don't seem to be making as many mistakes they did in the global finals, though. That is something I have noticed. They seem to be playing a lot more slow. Obviously, we only have 2 matches to work off right now, but I mean, it's very dominant at 40 points for 1 game.
To be fair, in the global finals, they were playing against a lot stiffer competition. The best teams in the world.
Yeah, they were. They were pretty powerful adversaries that they had to go up against in the end. But as we see it, I think so far Unique has put a pretty big stamp on the European region so far. And they're looking to claim it as their own coming into the semi-finals and the regional finals. But we will have to see how they do as the days progress. And day 1, we are still only on match 3 before the final game tonight, which will be match 4 back on Erangel. But we are going to the biggest map in PUBG Mobile. Quite literally, it is Miramar.
Yeah, it's huge. It's great.
Yeah.
I love to see it. Huge map. Flight path really does dictate these drop zones. A lot more so than really any other map in the game. And it means that teams need to be much more adaptable. It's a game of playing a little bit more dynamically when it comes to trying not to crash crazily into these locations, which we know they like to do from Erangel.
Okay, yeah, we hear you. We hear you.
But don't, just wind it on back. But we are going to be seeing what they do opt to do this time around over on Miramar.
Indeed. So we're going to get into a game very shortly. Here we go. Look at this, a beautiful little animation we have for you there, showing you just how big the map is, the amount of towns we have. We'll be showing you the flight path very shortly, which currently is a northwestern to east side plane path there. It will be coming on your screen very quickly. Here's the plane as it moves on over. This is going to give a lot of opportunity to teams to go around about towards the middle of the map. Maybe Los Higos, Puerto Paradiso is a little bit hard to get over to. Los Leones still in reach, but a little bit of a reach overall. So a lot of these teams are going to be looking for those vehicles as they land to make their way over to their preferred looting areas.
How many people are going to go Picado? That's what I'm thinking about. 2 teams have dropped out so far, make that a 3rd. So there's still 13 teams in the plane. Still waiting to see where they're going to go as time does start to tick away. Here we go. Here come the drops. Everybody going out. Look at this. Looks like everyone's heading south. How many teams are actually going Picado?
Maybe you called it a little bit too quickly. Picado, it's quite a large spot, but I mean, it can't really fill this many players in it. Bloody hell, look at them all. They're swarming down upon it. El Pozo, that's surprising more teams didn't go there. There is actually potential for military loot on the western side. Yasha somehow in the ground very firmly, like his literal legs were in the concrete.
Yeah, it's the best place to be.
Absolutely.
Well, if you don't mind not having legs.
That's true. Yeah, I think most people would mind, however. Not Yasha, though. He just needs his firing off and holding off.
They just put him on a trolley and wheel him about.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Yeah.
That's all, like his legs are just completely covered in concrete.
Well, there's a westward circle. Unfortunate news for players going over to Impala, to Al Azhar as well. It's going to be pretty tricky for them to make those rotations. The center of this map is actually pretty difficult to rotate through.
Yeah.
A lot of mountains that make it very difficult to pass in terms of the terrain that is available to them. We'll have to see just what they're going to be capable of.
Yeah, pretty amusing, really, all those players jumping out over Picado.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, no, we've got to dip. We've got to go over to the eastern side. And they go over to the eastern side, and it's like, no, sorry, west.
No. Go west now.
Go west now. So, a little bit sad. Rogue currently just scouting it out, knows the back-to-back are over here. Back-to-back continuously seem to drop with another team.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's their prerogative.
Well, it's in their name, right? They like to be back-to-back with their enemy.
Absolutely. That's what's happened so far. I mean, we had Asterion and Deformia before, and now we've got Unique, which is basically 2 teams in one.
Oh, hey, look at that. Before 2.5 minutes, we've got a kill. Where have we seen that before? Oh, that's right.
Every
Everywhere
single
else.
match. Yeah, nice, nice. Kitsune is pretty far away from Old Boy and Rogue, but currently the looting process has just begun.
It's not going to stop Old Boy, though.
No,
He's going straight in.
Wow, he actually just sprinted across there with no worries whatsoever. He's not a care in the world. I'm going to loot this building and there's nothing you can do about it to stop me. But this is going to be a thing where Uniques just start to coalesce towards each other. Let's take a quick look over at our map over here. El Pozzo, pretty still...
Oh, no.
Still very, very...
Oh,
very
dear.
much populated right now.
Oh, dear. Wow,
What is-
Edig having a real bad day here.
Oh, dear.
Speaking of bad days, Christo.
Yeah, Rogue with the backstab. And also,
Oh, come
look at
on.
that.
I mean, okay.
They just allowed Old Boy to move across.
I don't have anything to say about that push.
No. I mean,
I-
look at Old
you know.
Boy. He's literally taking liberties right now, jumping out of buildings. What are these guys doing? Now Kitsune's like, guys, I want some kills as well, please.
If he was in the MCU, he'd have been ousted by Fox right now because he's playing a little bit of Spider-Man, just jumping around like that.
Look at this. How is that allowed? Is he going to pop up?
I'll tell you what, I'm pretty...
No way.
How-
No way.
That's... Okay.
How can you let that happen? You were styled on, son. You were styled on.
I'm so disappointed in back-to-back. They had a real great game a couple of times, but...
What is that?
When you allow that to happen, when you push so... They moved around. They went to... They peaked... They re-peaked the same angles. They pushed through the same angles that the rest of their team went down to. They lost gunfights. They weren't able to stand up to it. And quite frankly, they need to be better if they want to try and stand up and move to the semifinals.
Yeah, they literally just let Unique do whatever the hell they wanted. Old Boy, literally...
I mean, it is pretty tricky to stop them, but even so.
Old Boy, a little woozy, a little stumble, a little swagger over to the school building, and they just didn't even care about it.
It's just sauntering, really.
Yeah.
I would say strutting.
Yes,
almost.
yeah.
Wait, hang on a minute.
Swagger on
We're
it.
not even at 5 minutes, and we've already dropped. Is that a team? A team has already gone down.
Is that Magic? Is Magic
Magic
out?
is out. So
No,
goodbye to them.
Still 15 teams remaining.
I guess we're back to our
Old antics.
Erangel days.
Yeah. Guys, I just want to remind you that Miramar is literally the biggest map we have, right? Okay, this is a map design, so players should be really in close proximity of one another until we hit around about phase 5, phase 6.
Yeah.
How is this happening?
It's, it's the first circle hasn't even closed. We've already lost a team. We've already lost 9 players in the lobby. It's dramatic, I'll tell you that, but the gameplay needs to tighten up. These guys want to have a chance, especially moving forwards to the global stage.
Hello? Can I help you?
All right, Amigo is just going to hard peek the angle, and Speziali's going to let him.
Loses his helmet. Well, why are you crouching up and down? Because this is not going to help you. This is not going to help you. You are already in cover. All you are doing is cheekily showing your head.
He's just resting, isn't he?
And now, again, just standing still on top of the building where he knows 3 other players have their sights on him.
He needs to get better at aiming as well. I'm being really mean.
You are really being quite mean, but I mean...
But he did have 2 players out in the open with I think that's a 6x on his M16, and he's not hitting the shots.
I don't know where he's looking though either. Very nice.
He hit the car.
Car's quite a big target.
All right, we figured out he can hit the broadside of a barn. Now to move on to pinpoint.
Yeah, still good. Can he hit the glass bottles sitting on the window? That's the real question. He's got better. Why would you put your... See, the question is, why would you put your player if you can't hit a player standing still on top of the big building?
With an SKS?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Morteza. Okay, Morteza's taking the place. All right. Maybe a little bit more accuracy coming on through. He's got an SKS this time. That's what you want to see. Speziali finally lands a shot as well, but he gets taken down in the process.
I think Speciality is actually on the other side of the building, so it's going to be very difficult to get in. So really all he's done is cause problems for SMG so far. A little bit unfortunate. And currently, we are still seeing Chaos go. They're still yet to have lost a player, and now they're going to toss the smoke up to the skyscraper. Good job, boy.
Oh yeah, there he is. Speziali is over there.
Is he going to drop down?
Check. It makes it in.
What is this clownery? What am I watching?
It's spectacular, quite frankly.
It's like watching acrobatics.
This fight, for context, this fight should have finished probably about 5 different times.
Why are you going up the fire escape?
Okay.
That's where you escape from. It's not where you enter from.
That's the only way they would have get up to Speciales.
Now,
but it's not worth going up
there. Why is he crawling? So he's literally crawling up to his knocked mate. Why couldn't he just take the path
Can we look at something
Jetgill
else, because I'm
took?
getting sad.
Yeah, why couldn't he have taken the path that Jetgill took, which was, I am going to go inside.
All right, let's tune in. Let's tune in with the rest of the map.
Yeah.
Unique moving down south now from Hacienda del Patron. They are going to claim a little bit of the mountain around Picado, whilst these guys fumble about, trying to figure out what they're going to do. Deformia Meditari over towards Minas Generales, near Bandita as well, taking a fight over towards, here we go, MVP. They're going to start to push on through. Cornell up and crashing. We'll be able to get out. They take the fight. Nicely done. Takes a lot of damage, though. Kind of God, going pretty low, and that could have been disastrous for them. They would have lost a lot of spot, but in comes the mini Uzi.
Yeah, the micro Uzi is so strong, and now you've got a lot of members on the floor. Danny coming around the side.
He spots the feet.
Shots underneath. The toes are blown absolutely off.
Nice. That's how you want to see a fight. That's how you finish a fight. Take heed.
You're not like trying to jump from building to building, or like a bloody ninja. That's not how that works. You get in there close and personal with a micro Uzi. MVP, they do lose Daddy, so they don't have a parent with them anymore, but it should be fine.
Yeah, hopefully they'll be able to, you know, pay their own rent.
Yeah.
Cook their own food.
Hopefully they don't need an adult, because otherwise they're absolutely done so.
Oh dear. Goodness me. Next zone is going to pop Unique over on the eastern side. Have a decent spot. A lot of teams out to the east still in the blue zone. Zezzy, who's he looking at?
I think Zezzy is currently looking at no one. Yeah, there is absolutely no one there. There's just a vehicle up there.
What is going on this game?
I don't know.
Because it just seemed like Sanhok was such a better map.
Yeah.
It felt so much cleaner, and now all of a sudden it turns around and we get this.
It feels like a lot of people have just unplugged their brains currently.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw some excellent play on Sanhok, which is the map where we thought things would go very poorly.
Yeah.
For these teams, because they were in close proximity of each other. We go over to a map where the map literally puts its hands and forces the fights away from each other, stops it. The school teacher comes in and it is Miramar. Yeah. And now the players are just all on each other and making very, very questionable plays.
There's still about 5 teams out east in the blue as well. It's fun.
This is a very, very weird Miramar. It's probably the weirdest Miramar I've seen in quite some time.
Goodness me. There's a couple of teams taking central positions, though, which is pretty decent. It's kind of what you want to see.
I mean, Unique have. Yeah.
Unique have. Actually, the Brothers gang, they've stayed together. They're right central, next to Asterion.
What is this?
There we go. They have a whole compound.
They have a bloody compound on the lock.
They're together.
This is the gang that we were looking for.
Yeah,
This
absolutely.
is the gang with the hoodies, the spray paint,
This is
the
brotherhood.
silly string.
This is brotherhood.
This is what I like to see.
M19, though, they have got a really decent spot up the hill. You can see how they've spread out. So they've controlled this crater around the edge. They have great sightlines to each other. Yeah. And not only that, they're going to be able to have overwatch over a vast proportion of the rest of this circle.
The only issue is they're a little bit spread quite thinly. So they don't control one spot like very powerfully, do they, John? They have the compound. And you would imagine that Evo and Exclusive would probably make their way back over that compound should they get pushed upon and not take that fight by themselves. This is more scouting than anything.
It's good scouting, though.
It
good
is
information.
Very good scouting.
Unique, they've got a warehouse. They've got a long building as well. One of those long boys, the 2 turrets.
A long boy. Yeah, man. I mean,
SMG still in a little bit of a conflict with Chaos. But I think it's only Panda left alive for SMG. We'll have to wait and see. But they still have to move away from El Polzo, where they are still in that fight. But I think they have finally fully disengaged. But no, Panda, I think, has taken a couple more shots. This is fantastic Esports. They've been rotating down in the blue for quite a long time. That could have been disastrous. Oh, my goodness me. But everyone relatively low. They're going to have to make it to the zone pretty soon if they want to be in with a chance of getting it. You can see they are going to be out of the blue relatively quickly, but they are going to be very low on meds. They're not going to be looted too greatly. And they're not going to be too happy with that as it goes on through. Everyone now finally free of the tick damage going away.
Yeah, they're pretty happy with that. now in the circle. Uno can get out. He's after himself.
He's still in the blue.
Well, he's looking for some meds first.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. Mr. Wolf, in his muscle car, trying to make it towards the circle. I think really here what he's looking to do is try and make sure he's as far away from any compounds as possible when he does pop back into cover.
They are going to start to double tick in just a second. You can see they are bandaging up and getting a little bit of health back on board.
Putting a band-aid on an axe wound though, sadly, when double tick.
Oh, he didn't get it off. That's unfortunate. Oh, that's really unfortunate.
Oh no, boys!
No way.
Oh, get your running shoes on.
Oh
Get
my
the
God,
trainers on.
that might be it. That might have killed him.
Oh no. The muscle car is just too strong. The biceps are too large and they just can't get it past the wall.
Next circle is going to pop as well. It's going to push everyone south. Unique not quite in the next zone. Neither are any of the teams around that roadway either. They are going to try and push on through. M19 now, their spot has become all the more dominant on the top of the hill. Have they managed to make it into the zone? Did they make the run?
I think they ran like absolutely Usain
They did,
Bolt.
but they're going to run straight into Cream, so they do have to take the fight pretty much immediately as Cream do mount up as well. Next zone will start to crunch in 20, so it means that MVP have a long way to go, and they've only got their feet to take them there.
Now, unless they can rock up on a couple of other teams. Kitsune actually runs himself over, sadly. Which is probably not what he wanted to do, but he's going to get brought back up again. I think Kitsune died pretty much the most out of any player that I've ever seen on Sanhok.
Yeah.
But Unique, the rest of the team, always there for him. They realise he's a little bit clumsy at times, but they're happy with his gun skills.
I like this rotation, though, coming out from Unique. They've managed to take control of a section of the hillside, which is really very nice, and it's a powerful one at that. There's a lot of crevices that they can find. Asterion, they're protected from the left and from the right, but from the sides, they don't have that much cover. The curvature of the hill gives Unique a little bit of an advantage in that aspect, but they do want to displace them because there is a threat from that position.
It does mean they can get quite close without being spotted too quickly. Lunatic takes a lot of shots, does have to drop to the floor. Now the nades, they will start to fly here, John. M4 for Yasha, so he should be very deadly accurate as he moves over to the top of this hill. He's going to throw another one for good measure,
nice
but
damage.
out comes a bit of a clap back from Asterion over the side. Will take down Yasha to half HP. He knows he needs to go back and heal up a little bit. Fantastic Esports still in it though after making their way back from the blue. Rogue very low. Looks like he took a massive brunt from one of those grenades.
Just going to push on forwards. Unique still there, and Asterion, they have been displaced. In fact, the place they've been displaced to is probably a better spot for them to hold, in all honesty. Giving that space over to Unique just a little bit, so kind of a lose-win. Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
In a kind of way. Taking a little bit of damage, though, never ideal. M19 trying to hold on to the top of this hill might start to prove difficult. There's a lot of teams vying for it now.
Yeah, Rogue did the smart thing there, checked his behind, made sure there was no one coming up from the back. So look at this, Unique constantly sending a player back to make sure they're not being third party before fully committing to this fight after the painkillers and the meds have kicked in to get them up to full HP. Really love this play. Asterion, though, they did make a very good push back there. The grenades were really, really good, gave them a lot more time. And like I said, now they've set themselves up in a little bit of a better position, which will be very defendable for them.
Speaking of defensible, this hillside looking pretty good for ASD now. Seem to have got the spots on, but they do have to be careful of the brother gang, who are still all together. They are all as one, as a unit.
When maybe that's what happened. Is
this tricky circle, though, it's a huge shift.
Yeah, this is a big shift, and now Asterion have to start thinking about moving. And Unique, you know, we know what they're like. They're like, okay, the circle has moved. This is no longer a good position for us, so they're just going to quickly bug out. They know how they have all the vehicles. They do not want to lose those. There's still a lot of ground to reverse, despite the circle being quite small.
Jumasera is the only set of buildings around there, but it's really risky to try and go in there. You can see Unique, they're skirting the edge. They know that they don't want to enter the city because it's more than likely not going to go that way. Everybody making these rotations. Look, the Futbolists and Unique both making those early spots. Ultra do rotate in from Jumasera. They are going to try and clash with Magic. On the south side as well, you've got Fantastic Team. Oh, this is risky. On the motorbike. It's so hard to control here. It's going to be right down to the edge. I think it's Simon who's driving it. Oh, not sure, actually. It's one of the two of them, but they are controlling it, holding it together well.
Yeah, very, very well played there. Could have probably gone through a flaming hoop and it wouldn't have mattered.
In come Unique on the top.
So, Brothers Gang, they're still alive. Yasha is going to put in the work there. Ultra
get it done.
All down. Kitsune definitely put in the work there, and still all four members still alive and kicking. Old Boy will get back up. In comes the smoke to secure it. He can see Magic in the distance. Looks for the spray, doesn't quite find it.
The first sacrifice has been sent out, although, to be fair, they haven't sacrificed everyone. They've gone 2-2 splits. The Brother Gang, they've managed to...
Is it the classic 2-2 split?
Oh,
Nice.
oh, absolutely, yeah. But they are still taking the fight with Cream, trying to get it. But they are out in the blue. Do need to move in. The other duo, though, however, has moved a little bit further in towards the zone. Unique have a really strong spot, but they might be challenged out by Magic down on the southeast side of them.
Oh, my lord. Asterion with some absolute explosive ordnance actually just killed all of MVP basically just
cars.
with vehicle explosions.
Look at all of these vehicles in the possession of Unique.
They're hoarding them. They're absolutely hoarding them. Do you know what they're going to do later? They're going to sell them back to the teams, make sure they get that #1 spot. It's like, if we sell it back to you, we'll give you... Oh, God. That feels very bad.
That was really
quite,
unfortunate.
Yeah,
for
that was quite the car bomb down there.
Yeah.
FUTBOLIST doing a really good job to keep M19 on their toes. Looks like they're not going to be able to come back from this one, John.
It'll be very, very tricky to try and get that done. They're going to find out Chaos. Okay, he doesn't manage to hit any of those sprays, but the rest of the team are there to echo it.
Yeah, it looks like he is just going to the vehicle for the time being, make sure
nice
the explosion goes off. Yeah, takes them down to very low HP immediately. They're both popping first aid kits. But they're in a really awful spot here versus FUTBOLIST. How do you make this push up the hill? Sure, you've got a little bit of places you can go for cover, but FUTBOLIST have got you on lockdown currently, and they also have their 2-2 on the other side, keeping... Look, it's so hard to do anything versus them. M19 also being held down.
They know they can get the refrag there. FUTBOLIST pushing down. They may not even need to go for the loot as well. They look to be pretty healthy, and they are just going to turn their attention instead to Chaos and try and head out that way and get a little bit more control over the next zone. Now, unfortunately, they do have quite a difficult push. Depending on where this next circle falls, they might have to cross a lot of open ground. A lot of teams going to be bearing down on them. As I said before, Unique probably in the best spot yet again with some nice rotations. They have control of the push out of Chumacera, where there are two teams biding their time. They've controlled the edge with Magic as well, and the next circle is going to force everybody to go past that choke.
Indeed, indeed. It's going to be very, very tough. It's going to be right in the center of that road as well. So really, whoever controls the hillside on either side is going to be in a very good position right now. FUTBOLIST looking very, very happy to take that one. They're controlling two teams at the same time, and now they're coming on Chaos as well. 6 kills though, so despite having a lot of good fights, they don't quite have the kills to the name as of yet.
Chaos really going to struggle to push up here. The FUTBOLISTs, they have so much pressure because they know they don't need to push down. They know that the zone's going to go their way. They know they have control of this side of the zone as well. There's no way that anyone else is going to go and third party this. They can just wait. They can just spot out Chaos. Really,
all this is now, John, is making sure that the pests on the mountain stay dead, because if they get rid of Chaos, yeah, you're completely correct. Then they control this hillside, and really it's going to be super hard to push them from behind. So basically the only issue for them right now is Chaos. Chaos needs to go down, and if they do, then it becomes a lot easier. But the longer this fight goes on, the more time it gives potential for teams like Fantastic Esports to make their way up the hill towards Chaos.
I really like what Unique have done at the moment. They've split 2-2. They're holding that choke before, and they're taking control of an area of the zone. They know they can push forwards. They've been keeping track of the kill feed. They know the only other team that's all full force is going to be FUTBOLIST on the other side. And they're going to take the rest of the fight. There go the Brothers Gang, as they do get eliminated out in 9th.
Yeah, wasn't too good. As soon as that first player went down, their ultimate form was just completely broken. Down in 9th, Fantastic Esports taking some shots from the side. Goo has actually been knocked as well. There's some serious sprays coming through. But Fantastic Esports still doing work over onto Asterion. But they do need to watch behind because their players are being slowly peppered at. Look at those long sprays. Why so? Also going down. Not so easy after all.
Double down in the smokes. Unfortunately, they have to send another player in, which is going to leave them XX in a 1 versus, well, 2 long range. But it's going to be pretty tricky nonetheless. 11 kills already found from Unique, so another high kill game coming in from them already.
XX, look at the spray on this boy.
He's hit the deck and he knows exactly what he's doing, not moving an inch.
Yeah, the rest of the Fantasy Esports players, they are going to go down in the blue. That is ticking for quite a bit now. Kisune also dealing with Cream quite quickly in the smoke. Why so easy? Takes a shot from the M4 whilst he's still in the blue just to make matters worse for him. And now XX, he has to traverse down this hill, mate. Oh, I can move through because it's going to be very, very difficult to make your way down. Old boy has just got the spray on him. He has the tap on through, and that's the boy falling on the mountain. He's not going to be collected by the rescue team anytime soon.
16 kills. They're trying to conquer their own record here.
Christ alive, Unique.
17 already. They've got plenty more to go. 20's looking very dangerous now.
This is even if they lose here, this is still an incredible kill game, and they almost have the points just for coming first off the kills itself. Asterion They're going to have to make a move through to the open, and Futbolist, they're really the only ones who have the opportunity to take Unique down at this point.
There's 9 kills available.
The only issue is for Futbolist right now is that they have to move down from the mountainside and cross over the road, which is going to be very difficult for them. But they are actually landing some shots onto Kitsune. He goes down once again, not a big deal. They will find some cover. They just need to know where Futbolists are firing them from, and then they can angle themselves appropriately.
The difficulty is that Futbolists, they have to rotate. They can't be holding this spot for too long. The question is, how long can they hold it for? Against Unique, they're going to have to mount up. They're going to have to get out. And with that, that's going to allow Unique to get their troops back up, move into the zone. Yashi's already got a foothold there as they have to just careen down the side of the mountain and see what they can find. Futbolists, they've already taken it down. It's unfortunate, but they've lost one. They will be able to get the res, but the blue is going to push.
This is really bad for them because this could have been an excellent play by them. Knowing that they knocked Kitsune, they would have been able to move on over and basically do a little flipsy over, but now it's Sorka and Prolord who are basically making it very difficult for Futbolists. You can actually see one more player is Evil Esports Slow. Once again, the last player for his team just hanging out, just like, oh, now he goes down. They spot him out. Lova's in.
8 kills remain on the server for now, and it looks like the Futbolists are trying to take a few of them away. Over onto Asterion, seeing what they can get done. But Unique, they have spread out. They have control. Everybody needs to dance to their drum. See what more they can get. Old boy on his own at the back, just holding it down.
The drum on the bongos that they're going to be playing is definitely going to be a bit of a funeral dirge for the rest of the teams. They are set up in an excellent position to basically just remove everyone from the game. Futbolist, I think I'm pretty happy with that rotation now, but they knew they got a knock there and they had to move down from the mountain whilst they could. Really, for them, Unique was the only danger for them. Asterion were more in a position of like, we need to get into cover, we need to get into a position where we can fight out this last circle.
And let's not negate the Futbolists. They came first, they won the first map, then on 7 kills, they're in the final circle, the top 3 already. A really strong game from them as well.
Yeah, they're their only team really to step up to Unique so far too. They did not just go gentle down the hill, they went absolutely raging down there, giving it back to Unique in a big way. Asterion have
west on this and everybody's outside, in which case Unique, they're really going to have control.
Really here, the big thing for me is that Asterion are in a great position.
Starting to have the hurt put on them. 2 downs already as the crossfire catches them. It's a very difficult rotation for them to make, but they're not going to go down without a fight just yet.
Yeah, Futbolists assisting Asterion there and taking a couple of players from Unique off the board, but Unique, they're still all in this, despite that a couple of being down. Oh boy, now that's some clean cover, but they are out now, all of them. Asterion played so well to get into cover there, making sure they were in the best position for themselves to take the game, and now Futbolists desperately hanging on. So little HP for all of them, other than Zessi. Tron, sorry.
Oh, there's no tire on that one. They are just pushing out their cover a little bit wider. They've got control of the zone, but Futbolists have some as well. Pushing up to this loot crate, really strong, but he gets in cover. Oh, that was so close. A sliver of HP, but it's going to be enough to see him safe.
So greedy, so greedy. We'll be able to refresh the equipment on board though, but he's going to have to heal up after that one.
What a nice view of this the observers are giving us, I have to say.
Excellent. Look at this. It is literally the showdown of the ages, as we can see on the top half of your screen there. Asterion, they've got a lot of cover on board. Futbolists not down and out yet, but they're all relying on bandages and those painkillers to bring them back up to HP. Look, in a little firing line on the floor in prone. Asterion doing such an excellent job to keep the fire off them. They've got a little defilade created for them behind this tree with the buggies. Zessi goes down now. Outpeaks Tron. Will go down as well. Now, 2 players down on the team. The other 2 dangerously low, and even if they do get them back up, they're going to be so low HP.
Oh dear, this might be the death bell for them as it blows up. That's 1 down as well. Only Solte left in the grass going for the spray, but it's not going to be enough. And it is going to be Asterion to hold it down. They find themselves right at the top there with a decent kill game as well.
Asterion, despite everything, I think they had some very tough moments for themselves going against Unique as well. They pushed them back with a nade, and then they made the smart rotation down into a position where they could push forward into the circle with a lot of cover on their backs as well. So really well played to Asterion, and you can't count Unique or Futbolist out, both with very high kill counts on board.
Oh yeah. They had really good spots for all of those 3 teams. And Unique, again, proving just why they deserve to be near the top of these to be near the top of these games. I mean, we saw exactly how they can rotate fast, how they can rotate precisely, and control the ground that they own, and know when to take the fight. It was really good to see.
Yeah, Footballers coming away from that game with 10 kills, and then we saw about Unique. They did end the game with 17.
Let's just have a look at this here on the highlight reel. You can see.
Look,
It was so
look at this.
unfortunate.
This
Like,
was
they go
just
for
so
these pushes.
It was bad manners. It was
Yeah.
bad manners from Rogue. Let's be honest. Look how. But the thing was, though, as he comes up from that crouch animation, he's actually still fully in cover, which was the funniest thing. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but if it was, that's so smart.
I don't
know why this is a highlight.
I mean,
I think this should be binned, to be honest with you.
we should forget about that fight entirely.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't. We never found out the conclusion to that fight. I don't think I ever wanted to know either.
I do know it, but I don't want to relive it, to be honest.
Please don't.
No, they both. Neither team fully got wiped. Is the answer.
They both left.
They
were
both
like,
just kind of left after taking loads of
You
damage.
know what? This is going poorly for both of us. Let's just call it quits. Please.
Should we just? Yeah. Oh dear.
Footballist, obviously on your screen right now, they control two teams at once, which, to be honest with you, in my opinion, very, very impressive. Look, Solkay basically taking down a whole team on his own sim. So I'm very impressed by Footballist. They also had a tough rotation from the high ground over there once the circle did pop and shifted away from them, and they also had to contend versus Unique. Obviously, they got that knock through, and you know what? It might have been a very, very different story if Zesty didn't get run over by his own vehicle.
I'll tell you what. I was slightly disappointed that Unique didn't overtake their 20-kill game that they just had with another chicken dinner.
I know. I'm slightly disappointed with 17 kills as well. I know I shouldn't be.
Yeah.
I know I shouldn't be disappointed with 17 kills because that's incredible.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm like, more though, please.
Yeah, just a little bit more. Come on, please.
Honestly, though, Unique performed so bloody well so far. It's really impressive to see. And after what I said on Sanhok as well, that you know what they're putting the best foot forward, and it seems that seems going to be a consistent recurring theme for us.
But to me, it feels like a bit of a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah.
I have to say, I think that nobody else really is rotating with the intelligence that they are. Whereas you look at a lot of other regions, the strength of just the entire rosters from everyone is they're always rotating intelligently. So you have to try and outthink 3 or 4 steps ahead. Whereas Unique are they just need to be, they just need to stride a little bit longer, and they're fine.
Yeah, they just need to do what's good, Anyway, if you want to see some more of PUBG Mobile Esports, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel down below. Smash that like button too. We love it. We love it here. We love it. Anyway, we will go into a break very shortly. But John, do you think that Unique could be able to keep this one up?
Absolutely.
Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Also, if you guys, just think about this, if the bull to you, if it looks like a face, at us on Twitter, and also if it looks like a bull, at us on Twitter as well. Just
if it looks like a nose ring,
or if we're completely wrong, absolutely, and it's not either of them, we want to know your answers. We want to know exactly what it is. Anyway, we're going to go quickly to a little bit of a promotional video for you, and we'll be back very, very shortly. Hello and welcome back to the PUBG Mobile Club Open 2019 Fall Split. You're watching the European region. Currently, NEX is the sponsor for the European region, and if you want to beat anyone out on the battlefield, you absolutely need an NEX phone with uninterrupted gaming and seamless, smooth graphics, right, when you are playing the game. And other teams who are really, really smooth right now and on a roll is Unique. What a game they had last time. Obviously, Asterion, in the end, were able to pull it out. But another 17-kill game, just off the back of a 20-kill game. Yeah. That's absolutely mental.
Yeah, first place to 20, third place to 17. They're going to be rocketing straight up into the lead, no doubt in my mind. Fantastic stuff coming out from them. I want to see more. I want to see it again. But also, I want to see the rest of the team step up. I want to see them be able to take that challenge and run with it and see what else they can get done.
I mean, what we saw was a couple of questionable firefights, really, from a couple of teams. In particular, that one where we saw a lot of players just on top of buildings, just taking pot shots. I wasn't really sure what was going on there from SMG, but yeah.
It wasn't the best.
Fine, but we got away from that pretty quickly. Unique, obviously, putting good stand, and it's nice to see Asterion really clapping back here. I think that really in that kind of circle where there's a lot of pressure on you versus two teams have already taken a winner chicken dinner away in the form of Futbolist and also Unique. To be able to perform underneath that pressure, find the cover, find the positioning, and then push it on through and just win it all out. Not to mention they had 4 players on board at the end. Really good job to Asterion. Hopefully we see a little bit more of them as we move into the games the rest of this week.
I'm sure we will do, but of course you have to remember, if you want to catch up with all of the action, you've got to subscribe to the PUBG Mobile Esports YouTube channel. So if you're on the channel already, head down there, hit that subscribe button and check it out, of course. And you can download PUBG Mobile on the Google Play Store or the App Store as well for Android and iOS devices.
So all is well, after all. I mean, if you want to play like the best, you've got to practice. The only way to do that is download the game.
Absolutely. But here are the stats from the previous game. Asterion Myth, you can see, only beating out Unique by 1 point. All those kills paying dividends. Almost 10 more on the kills.
Futbolist coming in a close third there with 24. Fantastic Esports down in 14 with the 8 kill points, really assisting them there. Evil Esports was slow. This boy does make it to the end of the circles quite often with that 8-pointer, but he did only get 0 points total for the kill all in all. Magic coming through in 7th, then MVP Esports down in 8th. They have that crazy crash there and they performed excellently.
The Bro Gang not featuring in the top 8 this time around. No, they will be down in 10th. Unfortunately for them. The rest of these teams,
not the worst though. Not the
rest
worst.
of these teams, not doing the greatest. SİMURGA, not doing great either. And that's going to leave Unique pretty huge lead there.
Yeah, 84 points for Team Unique. In second is Futbolist with 61, 50 for Asterion Myth after that wonderful win they just grabbed. Look at that. The top 3 teams all with a winner chicken dinner, of course. M19 coming in 4th. They have been fairly consistent so far, getting those kills, making it to some of those final circles with 31 points. But really then it drops off after that down to 27, 21, and 20 in 8th place. Now let's check out the next leaderboard with all our teams going down from the 9th onwards.
Yeah, we are going to be heading over to see that. Of course, at the moment, what you really want to see is a balance between kills and placement points towards the top end there. You want to pretty much be dead even, ideally, maybe a few more placement points. And that remains to be seen. You can see at the moment there, the Brothers Gang, they're very heavily weighted to placement points.
Yeah, Deformia Meditari though, a team we talked up and basically praised at the beginning of this one all the way in last place there.
Unfortunate, how might it fallen?
I know, right? And here's Group C and D, who we will see more of tomorrow, who are currently obviously not placed yet because they haven't played the games.
Yeah, we won't be seeing them today, but again, we're back up here, and it's 2 teams dominating these 5 spots. 14 kills for Old Boy, no surprises there, but Kitsune and Rogue, they're both taking up those second spots with 12 kills apiece.
Yeah, and Soulcake and Lovers In, both on 9 and 7, doing excellently work for their team, really bringing up the rear. And it looks like Futbolists, they still have a chance to catch up to Team Unique, although Team Unique, they've made a precedent, really, going forward at 84 points at the top of the leaderboard currently. Our next match will be Erangel. We'll be getting into that one very shortly. Again, now, this is what we're talking at the very beginning of the broadcast. The teams have already now played Erangel. What we're really seeing now is, do they take the same approach, or are they a bit more tactical about it now that they know where teams will be dropping if they've got the eyes on?
Have to wait and see. Oh, are we going to see another hot drop? Are we going to see teams dropping early on? I think before on Miramar, we saw the first team go down about 4.5 minutes into the game. That was pretty crazy.
It was.
A lot of kills going on earlier as well in the first iteration of Erangel, as we came through today. But we're going to see what happens this time around. The second time we drop A and B, both groups take to the plane once more. The skies of Erangel.
Indeed. And what we're going to have here is a western to easterly, very middle plane path here, as you can see on your screen coming over the top, with that fancy schmancy skin of the fiery dragon.
That is some real
paintwork
tier
yeah.
paintwork going on there.
One thing to consider, John, as we work through the rest of the week.
Considering.
You're considering. Thank you very much. One thing to consider as we come through the rest of the week is that we have back-to-back games for the next 5 days, right?
Yeah.
So this means that there's quite little prep time for the teams overall, and there is a really big decision here, is that after you played these 4 games, how much time do you spend researching these games? How much time do you spend scrimming? It's going to be very tough to fit that all into your schedule, so I'm interested to see how these teams come out tomorrow, and will they have any new tactics available for us to kind of counter some of the other teams' initial drops or plays.
I think that's 2 teams dropping South Crates at the moment in George. Might be a little bit of kerfuffle going on there. No one really looking to strike out for military base just about yet. They might try and pick up some vehicles and go for it that way, but for now, everyone's just finding their spot. Roshok, a little bit less contested. Pachinki seems to be less contested as well. Only 2 teams in the skies over it for now. Looks like Evil are going a little bit further south.
Chaos currently taking a tumble with the big boys. Unique. DP28 though, with Chaos, they're doing a fairly decent job of it. Peppered Unique quite a lot so far, as you can see.
The circle just popped on the screens, as you can see
Oh,
as well.
wow. Yeah, that is a rough easterly circle there.
It's pretty heavy.
A lot of water in there too, so there's less land, and you know what that means for these European teams. They're going to be clustering and fighting all the more. I wish he hit that shot. That would have been literally amazing.
Still going to go for it. A couple more players are there. He's going to hit another shot. Decent firing coming out
not bad at all.
Asura. Impressive stuff. Unique, they've taken a lot of damage. They won't have the meds to kind of handle it either, as they haven't managed to loot super huge amounts of, well, pretty much anything. Only 1 gun being found by Old Boy. So he's going to go and grab a helmet and see what he can get done. Yasha has the high ground, so that's a little bit of an advantage for him, but he has to be careful for the rotations coming through, so he does drop down and fall on back. Already a kill coming through, though.
Yeah, he does have the barrel. A little bit of a vicious kick on that one, but definitely puts the work in. One of the fastest firing guns in the game. Chaos currently playing it a little bit safely over on this side of the crates. They really don't want to take too much of a fight with Unique, knowing just how good their fragging power actually is. But if there's any time to take a fight with Unique, it's now, when they don't really have the gear.
Yeah.
Is that 2 scars on his back? You know what? I'm living for it.
I'm down for it.
Yeah.
I'm in.
You got 1 scar with a 4x, 1 with a red dot. That's how you need it to be. You've got the long range action, you've got the short range action.
Sure. Double magazines, mate. Just go akimbo.
Yeah.
See what you can get done.
In both hands.
I'm surprised no one's gone North George, in all honesty. It was the perfect plane for it. No one has dropped in that location. No one's gone Severny either. I can't blame people not going to Zaki, but still, they aren't going to go there. Instead, 2 teams over in Roshok, 2 teams over in Pachinki. 1 team has managed to rotate all the way down to Military Island as a couple of shotgun shots rain off.
Yeah.
Fantastic. That's quite the trench coat.
It's quite the outfit, isn't it? Ooh, what a shot right in the groin. That's got to hurt.
Yeah, not going to be getting up in the morning with
There's
that
a little magic for you.
Bang. Oh, there we go.
There's the double.
Took up the hill. There's still a potential backstab.
Yeah, it really is. Alan, I think he's just leaving.
He's not all in on this one.
No.
He's all out.
He's all out.
That was a good joke.
It was a pretty good joke.
It was a good joke.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Unique
Get that poker chip off your shoulders.
Unique still trying to take the combat over in crates. Oh, look at Amigo.
Yeah, they really are. They've kind of cornered Amigo so far, but Yasha, quite low HP, and in the crates there, you can bait teams quite easily, especially with that third-person view you have available to you. Yasha doing the exact same thing. It's basically mirrored on either side, but currently Amigo is about 70% HP healthier.
I think he knows. I think he knows exactly where he is. Well, maybe not exactly, but he knows he's in these crates. Old Boy now starting to push in.
If he can hit the long one,
I think he might have just done.
Oh, he's going to push him over to the right-hand side.
He got it!
Really? What a nade that was! He cleared out the front one. He was like, he's got to be one more back. Incredible control there. Now look, all the rats, they're coming in. And they also have cover from wherever anyone else from Chaos is actually firing from, so they will be able to finish him off.
Yeah, they're going to be able to confirm that one relatively soon. Speaking of meds as well,
Corsera's got
Coursera
nothing.
is really low as well, so it's going to be really tricky for them to go through. When you try and take a fight with Unique, this is what happens.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Chaos right now, I'm like, yeah, you know, not the best of ideas.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about this one anymore, boys. Maybe we leave. Maybe we let the Lions have it. Well, I mean, we are a bit of the carrion coming in to scavenge a little bit, but the Lions are now here and they have been nipping at us a little bit. we will be buggering off now.
They drop the car into chaos neutral and have a little bit of a think about what they've done.
Yeah. Unique is still lobbing grenades in like, get out! this is our crates, all right, for the time being.
Get out of my pub.
Yeah, get out of me swamp. We'll now loot the probably quite empty body of Amigo over there.
Oh, apparently not that empty. He's able to pick up a couple of things. Cream over in Milta, they're going to be pretty happy with the zone. Sorry, in Milta Power. Pretty happy with the zone. It's going to go straight over towards them. Lipovka holds at the moment. Fantastic team. Central, just to the south of Mansion, over towards Bunker as well. You've got Futbolists, as well as M19. The Brothers Gang, they have split up a little bit, but they are within striking distance of each other, as Deformia Meditari cross the river just to the east of Rozhok, to the south of Yasnaya as well. Ultra still on that military island as everyone is just starting to make their way across. Of course, this first circle is pushing in, but it's relatively slow. The teams over in South George, however, do need to think about getting a move on, do need to get a shifty. Of course, during that whole fight, Unique won't have looted that much.
Yeah, exactly. They were hard pressed. They were on all sides. They were really getting a lot of attention from Chaos. And now, yeah, Unique, they don't have a vehicle. I believe Chaos actually took the Darcy that was just outside crates. So they're going to have a little bit of a tough time getting... Oh my God, Cornell! That was very close to your team, mate. Could have actually ran him directly over there.
Just run him down.
Just giving him a bit of a heart attack as he drives on past. Now we're going to see...
What's life without a couple of thrills, eh?
Yeah, exactly. And it's so far that Deformia, they've had quite a few thrills for themselves these past 3 matches.
Yeah, I said a few thrills. I didn't mean the number of thrills that it would take to turn your hair white, which is seemingly what they're aiming for.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be fair, all the characters in this game usually have white hair. Because, in my opinion, it's probably this the coolest, bro.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think
think just a full-on shaved bonce.
I think that there are more players in this game with white hair than shaved bonces.
Do you think?
Yeah.
What makes you think that?
Because it's the coolest. And it's all. And to be fair, look, that's white hair.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
That's absolutely not.
I can't see.
That's definitely at least dark hair.
I'm craning my hair. Oh no, that might be dark hair.
That's
actually.
dark hair. It's
This is the worst example. Okay, this is the worst example.
All right. Okay. Well, you point out to me when you first see someone with white hair, and then we'll go from there.
Right.
All right.
Fine. I will.
Fantastic. 4 players dead. 16 teams still alive. Unique starting to make that rotation now, except for Kitsune, who's instead going to drop on back and crash into the side of a bridge.
Maybe get the boat. No.
Maybe look for a boat, but no. Okay. It's just...
Where is he going?
He's just going over to North George.
What is
going on?
Did he see a crate?
There is no crate there.
There is no spoon, Kitsune. Where are you?
Where is he going?
No.
Kitsune. What?
What's gone wrong? What's happened?
What? I am genuinely perplexed.
Who hurt you?
I'm trying to have a think about who could
Don't
possibly...
leave!
Why they could possibly be doing this.
Is he coming back now? He's coming back now.
I just don't understand it. He's shooting.
He's shooting. No,
Is he?
No, come back.
I don't know what's happened, but he's stopped moving. He's bandaging. Okay, so that's why he's stopped moving, but... What? Okay, whatever. The circle going to zone in over towards Milta Power just a little bit more as well. Ultra going to have to cross the bridge across from Military Island. And everyone else is going to have to try and move a little bit further south. Unique, well, most of Unique are now out of the blue and trying to wrap around the lake just to the west of Yasnaya. I genuinely have no idea why he's done
He's
this.
coming. He's coming home. No, please, no. Yeah,
Okay.
good. Stay on the path.
Come on. All right. Watch
You
out
can
for the
do
rock.
this.
Okay.
Yeah,
good job. Right in the
Okay,
hill.
come down. That's
Okay.
it. Oh, you're
Nice.
perfect. You're on your way, son.
Don't hit the tree. Good job.
Oh my God, awesome
He's
place.
got no meds. Oh, the rock. Oh, that was so
crash
close.
loss.
That was so close.
Oh, he sees it. He sees it. He sees the entrance to the blue. He's going in. Oh, over the top side. Down. There's a road right in front of him. That's going to speed him up a little bit. That's going to give him that extra oomph on the kilometers per hour. Oh, he's coming through. There we go. He's
Across
in.
the
And the gas
line.
station as well. Perfect. He's going to refuel there and off on his way. Wonderful. Easy peasy.
Goodness me. What an adventure that was. But Cream have an adventure of their own. Unfortunately, it's going to be down on his hands and knees as PSK gets shot on out. The Futbolists have something to say about them being on this hillside, and they're not too happy about it.
No, just like, this is my hillside. All right, you leave immediately. Yeah, now we're at the lumber area as well. This is actually a very nice little creative area. I actually really enjoy Erangel. I mean, it's surrounded by all sides by basically a massive hill. So making your way up there is a little bit difficult, and then there's some very fun areas you can chill out there as well. But it looks like footballers are just going to basically get out of there. They want nothing to do with it.
Just going to run away. Disciplined. Exactly what you need to see. Unique, they're pushing in from the north as well. Ooh, the Futbolists taking a little bit of fire from Cream, but the DPE spray not quite going to be able to land.
White hair. There
I
it
think
is.
that's grey hair.
White hair also?
No.
White hair.
Okay.
No.
Grey hair.
When you put the helmet
Grey
on,
hair.
when you put the helmet on, it makes it look grey.
Grey hair.
That's white hair.
Grey hair.
Do you even play PUBG Mobile?
Grey hair.
Ash white hair.
It's grey hair.
It's white hair.
Okay, you believe what you want.
I think everyone in chat right now is completely agreeing with me because they know when you put a helmet on, it makes the white hair look a little less white, and it's why you're a little bit disappointed when you pick white hair in the screen and you're like, that's not white hair. What's going on there? Coursera, Chaos, they lost Amigo. A friend did leave, but it looks like they're carrying on for him. MVP. It's in the window currently. I think Wolf can actually see right from the third-person view.
Just a little bit. Getting that intel. Unique. This time it's Yasha who's going to go out into the blue and try and race it in to the zone for some unknown reason.
Yeah.
Seems like they're just taking it in turns, but they are going to be edge guarding against NewCycle.
Why is this a thing?
He's just going for some more loot. I mean, this is
yes.
At least this has a reason.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
at least you can see what he's doing.
He's got a bike as well, so
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
He's
I
rapid.
really I want to see someone do a backflip in tournament play. That's literally all I'm here for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you're going to see Yasha do it. He's got some meds. He's got plenty to be working with.
They still only has a level 1 helmet though, which is pretty tough.
That's probably why he's stopping to loot.
Yeah.
And trying to get a little bit more.
Without that helmet,
on
you're
board.
a little bit stuffed, to be honest with you, in a firefight.
Yeah.
If they,
He should be thinking about getting to the zone now because the rest of his team is not going to be best pleased with him if he does burn out those meds.
yeah, they've already shouted at Kitsune for the past literally 5 minutes.
Well, they should have been. Ultra, they're still on Military Island. I think they're swimming across the channel, just from Novo, trying to reach the headland as well, hit that bridge. They might even have spotted the
Michael Phelps done
the care
I'll take
package.
it.
One of them, I think, is in a boat or a jet ski, so they will be able to get a little bit of a foothold across the way.
He's just going to take them one by one to the short side, or just by himself, I guess.
The AUG will be the prize for someone who wants to claim it.
I don't think it's the best prize. I think that's like a tier 3 prize.
It's a pretty good weapon. It is very, very good.
Yeah,
but
it's all
with the
right.
quality of spray that comes out from a lot of these assault rifles, the AUG doesn't offer too much of an advantage. It does have a slightly higher DPS than most, but
yeah, still tier 3 prize for me.
yeah. The Orm is top tier, I think, still.
That's tier 1 prize.
Oh, Deformia Meditari coming up against a bit of a resistance over near the prison, or just the east of prison, sorry. They are just going to get shut on out.
I mean, Jekyll, that was a pretty ambitious crash there. Deserved
Solo
to be
crash.
finished. Yeah, for sure.
A little bit delayed. So he was trying to scout out the next compound, but crashed instead. So a little bit of crossed wires there.
Let's just take a minute to look at the amount of people alive currently. There is 58. We have 16 teams available. This is incredible for the European region, to be honest with you, John.
There's quite a lot of players alive for
I
the
am
number of
actually
teams.
really enjoying this. This is good.
It's a lot better. It is certainly a lot better than the first game that we saw. So it seems like they've picked up their feet learnt a couple of lessons. Unique controlling the northern side. They're on the hills just to the west of Prison. They have got a decent overlook, but at the moment the Futbolists controlling very central, just to the north, outside of Milta. A lot of open fields though to deal with. SMG start to rattle off the sprays, and back to back take a tumble.
Yeah, back to back they go down as well. SMG not doing too badly. I think SMG have some pretty good kill power on board with them. I think they've done pretty well so far. They were actually the ones to take out back to back as well on Sanhok.
Yeah, they still have 2 players alive, but that's really just split them in half. It's not going to be good.
No. MVP currently holding on to this compound. Fantastic Esports do take a casualty there. But Evil Esports over on the southwest side of your screen there, they're actually 4 members. Usually they are just the one. We usually just only see Slow at the very end of the circles. Lil one, just leading for the time being. He has a DP28. We all know how strong that gun is. But it looks like Evil Esports will be the ones who will be under the cosh here.
Just a little bit of threat. They're still in the zone, but the next circle is going to pop relatively soon. Unique rotating a little bit preemptively, but they're going to come into a lot of different players. Yeah.
Everyone,
still 16 teams.
Yeah, everyone
in
seems
phase
to
4.
have found a pretty safe place to hole up.
That's great for Unique. That's great for Cream. Not so great for Fantastic Team or Fantastic Esports.
No.
Or Deformia Meditari. They're going to have to try and contest for that. Unique, though, they have the hillside right near Prison, and they can continue to try and control that. NewCycle will have to try and push in as well. Asterion looking for a rotation, looking to try and get in somewhere. But everyone on that southwestern side has a long way to go. The Futbolists are going to be controlling the entry as well.
Deformia looking to put an end to Fantastic Esports' run here as they try and get into the circle, but they are so very clearly out there.
2 out.
Both down. The Deformia have basically done the job there. They can just now leave and move up the hill, but Cream definitely got to hear that. It's just Pocus though, and PSK on the top side, as you can see there. Fantastic Esport now out in 16th place, but still 16th place to go out there with such a small circle on hand. It's pretty crazy to see.
Ultra made the swim all the way across the channel, so they are going to be able to push up north. They're going to be falling in behind Magic, behind M19 as well, on the eastern side of Milta, but there's not that much room for them.
There we go. Here's the Brothers Gang. In this case, the Brothers Gang singular. Just one guy.
The Brothers Gang member.
Yeah, the Brothers Gang member. Just up there. What is he doing?
Oh, he's flitting about. He's baiting out the shots.
Oh, come on then. Have a fight. Have a fight.
He's got Simon down the hill. He's trying to bait them to peek the window, but they've taken one down.
What is this?
They push out. They take him out.
It's the decoy. It's the decoy play.
Oh, wow. Nicely done by Asterion, controlling the ground, using the cover to their massive advantage, and they're going to do a lot of damage over towards the Brother Gang.
Kitsune actually goes down from back-to-back. Currently, the back-to-back players are in a little bit of a firefight with Unique. There's the sacrifice of Brothers Gang Go.
I think Kitsune goes down here. I don't think they can get the res in time. It looks like the first knock in
He's
terms of
crawling pretty quick.
Yeah, but the health bar just isn't quite there.
He's giga crawling, dude. He's giga...
I don't think he makes this. I just don't think he makes this.
He's got the turbo on. They're actually picking him up.
They managed to go for the res. They're completely out in the open, though, and no way he gets out.
Get him.
Oh, boy, that was unfortunately too risky for you. He tried to get his teammate up, but in the process, they lost yet another one of their players, and the top fragger at that. Now it's down to Yasha and Rogue.
Yeah. Now old boy has to do the turbo crawl back up the hill.
I don't think he's going to make that.
Towards the Harry Potter's house. They really need to cast Wingardium Leviosa on him and just have him float up through the Harry Potter window, but I don't think it's happening, sadly.
Right. Well, old boy actually goes down to NewCycle, who have now started to come in and try and third-party this fight. You do have Asterion as well, waiting in the wings, are back-to-back and trying to see what they can get done. 14 teams alive now as Phase 5 is ever encroaching. Deformia Meditari, they've spread out on the eastern side of the circle. They should have a decent shout to move through and try and rotate whichever way they choose for the next. Ultra, again, on just a little bit further south, a little bit more grouped up, but Futbolists right in the center with a decent shout at holding everybody off.
Yeah, absolutely. Not wrong at all here. Futbolists are very good at getting themselves in a great position. You know what, the one thing that really does quite annoy me, though, about it is that Unique, it looked like they were messing around a little bit. I'm not going to lie. And in my opinion, this fourth match of the day was really a match to play outstandingly and push yourselves ahead of the pack with that 84-point lead. It was almost 20 points. And if you can make that even further, it becomes even harder to catch up to you. So, I don't know, it's quite frustrating for me to see them almost mess around like that a little bit.
Well, the game's not done just yet. Still 2 members of Unique alive and kicking, and if we know anything, it's the top 3 fraggers in the game so far are 3 Unique players. One of them still alive.
That's like semi-BM. That's like a backhanded compliment to Rogue. Unfortunate. But back-to-back, I'm pretty sure Rogue can see him. Doesn't take a shot, though. We'll wait around for the time being. But Asterion, previous winners from the last match, still alive and kicking. 4 members still. It seems this team is very, very hell-bent on keeping their members alive and getting themselves into a good position slowly but surely. And that absolutely does win the race here.
Deformia Meditari have stacked up to try and start their insurgency. Ooh, a nice headshot over onto Unique as well. Is going to give back-to-back a little bit more power. They will be able to get the res, but it's going to be super damaging. No helmet available, I think, for both of them now. Deformia Meditari, they spread out. They're going for the push, and they're going for the fight. Able to get yet another one from Evil.
Yeah, and right in front of a loot crate, no doubt. So they might be able to get up to there, and that will be Evil Esports going down in 12th. Not the greatest result of them at the end of the day for match 4. We're probably going to see them towards the end of the leaderboard at the end of this match. Chaos, though.
They don't want any of this.
No, they really don't. You are running into M19, one of the more consistent teams, as well as Futbolists, who they are a terrifying team to come up against. I mean, sure, they've not had a massive kill game, but when it comes to it, they definitely know what they're doing. Like, look at that. Like, he's forced him into the nade there. It's incredible to see.
You can zone people around the trees. Gazzy waiting in the wings, trying to look for it, trying to find a spot.
Don't steal my kill.
Yeah, he's a little bit miffed about that one, but Gazzy's biding his time. He knows that he doesn't want any part of it. He's a little bit wiser than the rest of his team. He's definitely spotted them. Definitely knows where they are, but doesn't look like they know where he is.
Sarah moving over towards him. Gazzy's like, stay away. Just stay away.
Just
like,
don't. Yeah.
Don't give me away, okay, please? I still have the chance to make it into the top 10. Don't do that. Now, Futbolists, they have to tangle with M19 now. Lightning currently over the top side. Not quite bringing the Thunder yet, but Zessi looking to take him down. They're a little bit dangerous. They are just running all over the place. But Lover's in. Still scouting, making sure they can see up the hill and tell his team when he needs to leash them back in again and say, look, we need to take a fight behind us, actually. Lightning, though, in the grass, just waiting.
They do know that he's out there. They know exactly where he's going to be. They know he has to push for the next circle as well. So they can just bide their time, but in the meantime, they're going to be crashed on. M19 going for the fight.
Yeah, Tron does go down. Evo Station also taking a lot of damage. Exclusive now. Drops down to the grass. Won't quite see any of Futbolists, and both guys will be rezzed right now.
That's 3 knocks coming in as well against the Futbolists. Everyone needs to get rezzed and get up, but M19 are there. The nade, that's huge. Oh, gets the knock.
God!
Goes straight back down. Does get the res though on the other teammate.
That was very ballsy.
They let him die.
Yeah, unfortunate.
That is unfortunate indeed.
Unfortunate casualty. Very ballsy from Lovers in there to actually lob a nade over the top. And maybe he could have rezzed his teammate if he didn't do that. But then again, it did buy them more time. So you might have actually seen them not get anyone up. Back-to-back now out in 11th. We are down to 10 final teams for the day.
Everyone's starting to move to this next circle. It's a huge shift as well. Northeast, Cream, right slap bang in the center. The Futbolists severely depleted on that push. They do need to start to move though. Unique have found themselves right on the edge as well with 2 players. They have a decent chance here with the other team that was super strong. The Futbolists really getting a little bit the wind taken out their sails. Deformia Meditari though starting to control the sidelines.
Absolutely. They have a lot of teams coming there. Cornell currently down. But he is healing back up now. It looks like Ultra coming in from the sidelines. They have a fair bit of cover there from the lumber station. So they have some time to wait. NewCycle actually. Yasha.
Okay, all right.
Asterion taking a lot of fire from there.
M19, I think they might just be close to going down, but Ultra takes some fire as well. 4 players alive for Cream. Deformia Meditari a close second, and Futbolists as well with 3 each. As another team does fall.
Asterion looking pretty worse for wear here. Not a player has gone down as of yet though, so they still can get everyone up. But Futbolists, they're hot on the heels. We'll be moving up towards them. Pocus just lobbing a smoke in, making sure he can cover himself off. But Cornell has spotted Lightning. Lightning takes the chance to move into the smoke there. and Cornell just does not have a read on it.
At the moment, Cream are playing zombie horde mode. They're sat right in the center of the zone, and everybody wants a piece of them.
The mob is coming.
Oh, absolutely. They're going to all trying to be pushing into this location, but luckily for them, the lumberyard is very easily defensible.
Ghazi actually gets a knock onto Futbolist, so he's done pretty well to stay there for as long as possible. It's unfortunate that he won't be remaining in the game any longer.
Cream have the best spot, absolutely, 100% of the time here. As I said, everyone's going to be looking to try and push towards them. Asterion want to jump up the top of the hill, but there's such a good spot there. They will remain in the zone as well for this time. Deformia Meditari have a good spot in it as well, but the top of the hill, so much more powerful here. Cream really in with a good chance now.
Yeah, there's so many spots that they can hold. Oh, a nice little scout there from Pocus on the side, watching what's going on. No one wants to open that crate right now. It is the baitiest of baits. NewCycle still in. A new team, a new face for us in one of these final circles. They have made it all the way to the end here. The floating sky in the air as well. Don't pay attention to that. Thank you. Unique still in the game for the time being. So, like you said, John, the game definitely was not over for them. Asterion still plowing through too. We take a look at the map, it is very, very clustered on the southeastern side as people push up towards Deformia at the moment, Meditari. Like you said, John, they've got a really good position there, but Cream, in terms of cover and scouting potential, yeah, they're sitting pretty up here.
Asterion taking a lot of fights, but you can see Unique just crawling their way through. They don't want a piece of this fight. There's 3 teams fighting over on this hillside, and they're just trying to stay out of it as much as possible, but Cream seem to have figured out what's going on. They're going to turn their attention that way, but in goes Asterion to actually third-party that engagement.
Yeah, this is the problem when you get right dead in the center there. Unique, by all means, should have probably gone down, but Cream, they're not only dealing with Unique, they're dealing with